What's going on?
That's like taking them to a freaking butcher shop and saying, "Here, are you kidding me?"
Big Al's fired up because some scientists at Missouri were operating on testing on beagles.
Oh no, they weren't. Yeah, operating's a slight charge. They did cataract surgery on one eye and blinded him. My organization was going to rescue him, and they slaughtered him, just like they're going to do those poor steers up there. So, come, we'll take care of them. We'll give them good care. And then all of a sudden you'll see a big old puff of smoke rise, and there goes the barbecue for the spring gold game. But anyway, Timmy, guess what?
I don't ever feel bad for those cows, Al.
Yes.
I delivered the number one Antar Thompson out of Southwest up to Mizzou to Barry. I'll send you the pictures. And then,
don't snort.
Did you just snort?
You snorted.
He got sideways smart with my boy, and offered my boy a scholarship. And my boy said, "No, I don't think so. I don't like your attitude because I got Alabama, Ole Miss, TCU, Colorado, K-State, and everybody else wanting me. So the Beagle curse was about to be lifted, Ben said, but not now, baby, because Barry pooped the bed just like they do when they slaughter my Beagles." So you know what, Mizzou? It's still on. So good luck with that. You kill animals, that's what happens to you. I try to be a peace offering. I bring the number one rated D tackle in JUCO, and you act like you know what you're doing. And obviously, you're like Matheny. You don't. So you boys have a good weekend. Go Easter. Doug, I really miss you.
Go Easter.
And Ellen, go
as if it's a team.
Cookies.
Thank you.
I got to go.
All right. Sorry to bother you, Al.
Perfect. Brilliant.
Well, it's nice to hear from the friends.
Go Easter. Go Christmas. Go Memorial Day.
Big Al got in a little wrestling match with Biff at the last.
Yes, he did.
Shots.
He was so fired up. I meant to ask him how his cut is healing.
That's right. Yeah, he injured himself.
In that wrestling match?
Big Al did not get to go in the private jet up to Minneapolis, St. Paul on Wednesday, Doug, but Biff did. I don't know if you were streaming while you were out in Colorado.
No.
I would imagine you weren't. And,
no, I wasn't.
And Biff flew up with the Hooters girl on a private jet to go watch the Blues and Wild. And then he stayed in a $500 a night hotel.
I did get that text. I saw the picture.
He texted you?
Yeah, last night he did. And now
what did he text you?
Now he's off to New York to watch the Cardinals and the Yankees.
Yep. God, he's got it all figured out.
He leads the life the rest of us just dream about.
God bless him.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him.
Yeah.
New York City for the weekend. Cardinals and Yanks. Probably come home, go to the Blues game on Sunday afternoon.
Would you rather watch the Cardinals at Yankee Stadium tonight or the Blues in a playoff game in Minnesota? I think I would have stayed one more night to see the hockey game and then catch the rest of the weekend series.
Maybe he had to get back to St. Louis for work. I don't think it's his jet either.
I don't think he has to do that.
What do you mean, bro?
Hey, it's Jackson from Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially. Saving for retirement and college while also paying bills and enjoying life along the way. Whether you're like me and starting your financial planning, or if you're already retired, call Mark Hanna. Mark works with you to design a strategy to do your finances right. It's a straightforward approach that starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs. Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
There's a lot of common sense in Western wisdom, like don't squat with your spurs on and always drink upstream from the herd. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear or what you can't make for yourself, or a man doesn't know his worth until he's eye to eye with a rattlesnake holding a toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that's perfectly clear. Fistful of Bourbon is an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and is smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise, pick a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York.
The Classic Car Show and Concert, September 25th at the Factory in Chesterfield, with performances by Jackal and Stephen Piercy from Rant. Tickets for the concert on sale now. Got a classic car you want to show off? Vehicle registration is open now. The Classic Car Show and Concert, a day of fun for the family and a night of rock.
Find out how to get tickets at thefactorystl.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com, longtime title sponsor of TMA. A. And you are always taking care of our audience, and now you're doing it in a way that is very appreciated at this particular moment in American history with the cash out refi.
Not only are we doing the cash out refi, but I'm going to put a 10-day closing guarantee on it because I know that people right now need money like they've never needed it before. Get the money you need today. Get caught up on the bills. Stop worrying. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:10 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 HD2 FM, TMASTL.com, YouTube.com/TMASTL. Why did I go into that Kennedy thing?
It was a nice delivery, though.
I don't know what happened. I like it because I like me.
Yeah, I know you do.
I like a lot of me. It's the Michelob Ultra Studios, Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Come on in, friends. The water is warm. Text in. Many of you already have because you're mad the show started 2 minutes late.
Oh.
Harrison's brother, Master,
They texted
was
about
waiting at 7:09. Way to be late today, guys. I'm blaming Ken Strode.
No, it wasn't his fault. We were all here.
You'd like to issue an apology.
We were all just in here talking and listening to spots, and we start when the commercial's over.
Mm-hmm.
And you listen when we start, so quit bitching.
There you go.
That was a sincere apology.
Yeah.
Why am I apologizing? I didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, it was your fault.
Right. He said he's blaming you.
I could have went out and smoked again.
Yeah, you missed an opportunity.
I did. Next time, tell me we're going to start at 7:10. I'll go smoke.
Well, it just happened to be that way, so.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. More spots, the better.
How wide open is your schedule when you're concerned that some radio station started like a minute and a half later than it normally does? I mean, you're pretty much free for the day, aren't you? If that's a concern to you?
Who was upset?
Harrison's brother, Master.
He probably wants to go private.
Yeah, the baiters got nothing to do.
I guess not. Would that ever cross your mind? I mean, even for the 1/10 of a second that, oh my God, a radio station started 1 minute later than they normally do?
I don't listen to anything, so no.
My honest answer is the Plowhawks answer. Everything I listen to is on demand. Iggy, I was listening to Maitland Ward with Holly Randall. That's a podcast I listen to, and I know you're interviewing her soon, aren't you?
I think the 19th.
Doug, is it the 19th?
I think it's the 19th.
I'm just waiting to get a time done. Isn't Holly Randall a photographer?
She is, but she has a podcast. Pretty popular, too.
Is she?
Yeah. I'm listening to an interview with Julianne right now, but Maitland Ward earlier this week. The Keith Hernandez book. I missed Joe Buck's podcast big time. I don't know where it is, but I know he has other things going on in his life, and so I don't want to be the guy who's, kind of a friend who goes, hey, where's your podcast? Because I know how wonderful that is to get. Yeah, Doug, I like to listen to golf podcasts. So everything is on demand, and therefore I'm not sitting waiting
and bitching
for a radio show. Well, I mean, hey, it's great that people want the show, so I'm not going to complain about that. What I'm observing is especially for younger people, the days of waiting for something to air live are, not to say they're in the past, but they're reduced, minus live sports, which is why live sports still commands even more dollars than it used to. There's my take. I just gave a take. I didn't intend to, but I gave one.
And even live sports, with all the technology, I mean, I watched the football game last night, and I was about 35 minutes behind. Pause it, go out and smoke, or go make an ice cream cone or whatever.
You're making an ice cream cone?
Yeah, I had an ice cream sundae last night.
Don't say sundae.
Doug, do you like that when somebody says sundae?
It's a sundae. It's not a sundae.
So technically, at some point, I wasn't watching it live anymore either. I'm just pausing it every time I go do something.
But enough people watch it in real time that they can still command big advertising dollars. That's the big problem with most network shows. Well, not most, but network shows in general, is that people record, and then when they rewatch it, they scan through the commercials.
That's right.
And the advertisers realize that, and they're not getting the bang for the buck.
That's right.
Well, that's why PGA does it pretty well with the side-by-side. So they keep the golf on one screen and the commercials on the next.
Yeah.
The only way to actually keep your people's attention 100%. Because there's no way you don't turn off your brain right when an advertising comes on TV. So you gotta change it up and be creative.
I was watching something a little while ago. I don't remember what it was. And as I tried to scan through the commercials, I couldn't do it.
Hulu does that.
Yeah.
YouTube
streaming services. Yep.
Yeah, that's probably where it's all going to go.
And if you're watching, like, House Hunters on YouTube TV episodes, you pick random episodes, they have automatic, like, 1.5-minute commercials you can't go through as well.
It seems fair enough. I mean, those are the people paying for it.
Yeah.
But you can pay Hulu, I think it's an extra $4.95 a month to have no commercials.
So
you can pay on Twitter to have no commercials and to be able to edit. Did you know that? Fun facts for no one tell.
Oh, so that's a purchased option, the edit?
Just editing? Because if you tweet and you misspell something, you can't go back and fix it or anything. That's so crazy.
Copy it.
Well, and the way YouTube has changed, I remember I used to, I'd pull an album up on YouTube and then put my headphones on. I could listen to the entire album. Now you can't listen to a song without a commercial coming on.
Right in the middle of it?
Yeah. I mean, these ASMR videos are like Ting Ting. She's so popular with 4 million followers.
Isn't that
Henshin? That's Henshin, but this is the original Ting Ting.
I mean,
she'll have, if she does like a 40-minute haircut video, there's like four or five commercials that pop up in that thing.
Doesn't that destroy the premise completely?
It does. I mean, I start to tingle and, oh, God, I got to wait
You're tingling during this?
You get a little tingle in the back of your neck.
You're kidding.
No, that's what ASMR is.
While you're eating the sundae.
No, I don't eat.
Guys, that Maitland Ward interview with Iggy is 1,000% not going to happen. No time will ever be set up, and even if it does, there will be an audio issue, and if it actually gets as far as that, the interview will never hear the light of day. Rooting for you, Ken. That's from Steve, the Butt Pirate.
All right. How much you want to put up that the interview gets done?
Steve, this is your opportunity to call in and make a wager, trade Venmos, and Doug will have a nice little wager here.
And he will...
Munganess St. Louis Acura, 7 o'clock hour.
You'd have to put a time limit on it because you couldn't say never get done. Well, maybe I'll do it in 10
So it's going to happen on the
years.
19th, right, Iggy? You got 10 days.
It'll be done this month.
Okay.
But I think it's the 19th.
And I'll be.
How are you going to make her interview different? Because she's been doing this book tour, and I bought the book this morning, as a matter of fact. How are you going to make this interview different than, she's been with Lisa Ann, she's been with Holly Randall, I'm sure she's done some mainstream. What are you going to do different to make it your own?
I don't know what the other interviewers have asked her. So I don't know how to be different. Maybe the same.
Well, how'd you get your start in adult?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, we know.
Is it tough going from mainstream to adult? Has it been sexually freeing for you? What does your husband think?
Sure.
Okay, now we've checked all those boxes.
Do the neighbors know?
How is Ken going to make it a straight-to-the-web classic?
Right off the bat, do you have something going on with Caden?
Nice.
Have you moved in with them, and has that become a threesome with Manuel?
That's a hard-hitting question right at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, we're going right in.
You got to soften up the subject a little bit before you get to that stuff.
Say something like, how about these Cardinals?
Yeah. Who's big for you?
Has she done anal yet?
That's a wonderful one to start
I think
with.
she has.
Plowek, maybe you should handle the beginning.
Yeah, because I think she's done a four-way.
She has. I was listening to her interview with Holly Randall, and she said she thinks that she has an elastic hole, as a matter of fact. That's what she said. Jackson, there's another T-shirt idea.
I don't like the term.
You don't like the term elastic hole? Isn't that a
definitely-
Sia song? I believe so. Elastic hole.
It's like silly putty. That's what I think of.
Well, she said some people are built to enjoy it more than others. That's just the way it is. Just
Some
like,
people.
some people like some things, and some producer Joe
like
coined
other
the phrase
things,
6 years ago.
And how has porn changed? I'm sure on the set of Boy Meets World, you're probably watching some at breaks. That was many, many years ago.
Ben Savage.
How has porn changed? And
You think they were watching Stag on the set of Boy Meets World?
Not.
well, the
They
people that
were
were old
not.
enough for it.
Corey,
Topanga.
Weren't. No, people don't do that at work. You get in trouble if you do that at work.
At most places.
Yeah, not in Hollywood.
Or they're probably also trying to memorize the lines for the next scene. Or,
Oh, yeah, those are complicated lines in that show.
well, you still got to spit them out the right way.
And I always have my go-tos.
What are your
Is there
go-tos?
somebody that
Favorite fry?
you haven't worked with yet that you're looking forward to working with?
Nice go-to.
Would you think of a scene with you, Caden, and Manuel? Maybe they've done one already. I don't
How
know.
about would she be a part of this film you're trying to put together with all the big stars?
Well, I'll bring up my movie idea, see what she thinks.
Because you've guaranteed that you'd win an adult film award.
That's correct.
Well, I know I would with the cast I want.
Would you?
Would you think about getting back into mainstream now that you've gone from main? There aren't many girls that go mainstream to porn. They go porn to mainstream. But would you get back into a sitcom if they asked you to as a porn star? Yeah, I got things I'll work on. Bless you.
So you
Bless you.
sneezing
Thank
is
you.
pleasing. So you have you have 10 days to get this done. What is the wager with Steve the Butt Pirate?
Oh, whatever he wants to bet.
Wow.
Because I know I'll get the interview done, so.
So if he said 10K.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd have Cletus back me.
10,000.
He's got a backer. There it is. Steve the Butt Pirate, the action's on you.
With some of these questions you're preparing, you may hear from the 60 Minutes people about a possible opening they have there. See if you're interested.
Depending on who. I could have probably done a better interview with Gaga than Anderson Cooper did.
Could you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you
Go
considered
ahead,
the morally safer of morning radio?
No. I mean, I interview C-list, D-list celebrities and porn stars.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's your niche.
There's not much to it.
Quick question. Why does Hubbard still have a mic sitting in front of Iggy? That's from the wedding tackle. I don't understand. There's a mic sitting in front of you?
Maybe they think this is a mic, this coffee cup?
Oh, yeah. Iggy's got a lid on it now after some unfortunate incident.
Yeah, I don't know. You think they should have taken away from me by now? It should be just stop talking. Is that what you mean? I don't know.
No, I don't
It's
know
wedding
what he
tackle.
means.
Weren't you on the golf course with wedding tackle? Hillside
His
is
brother.
caddy. Yeah.
His brother, yeah.
When are you guys playing? Man, you got a lot of bets out there. You got a lot of action.
Nobody wants to play me anymore.
Is that right?
Hustler.
Steve from
Hustler.
Ballpark Village, I told him we'd play, and I gave him 3 aside for a rematch. He said yes, and he hasn't played yet.
Well, he's busy talking to the Post-Dispatch.
That's correct. He's doing cribs.
Yeah, or he's busy just sitting taking pictures of butts
Oh,
at the pool.
sounds
No.
like he's got a pretty good life.
Why does he have a mic to use? That's from wedding tackle.
Oh. Thank you for being more specific.
So it
with
was
your-
what I said, that they should have taken away from me and not talk.
I think that's what he meant.
No,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
It wasn't nice. I'm sorry you had to hear it.
Usually when you have to
Hear it every
explain the
day.
joke, that's when you know they're good.
Yeah, that's a nice try, though. But
You know, well, maybe we can get past that.
Will this interview be on your podcast that's somewhere out there in the ether and not available to anybody in the audience? Thanks. That's from Scissor Me Timbers.
No, the PNG.
it'll go where they always go, on the app somewhere.
Why don't you put it like on the back of Pepper and Genie? Just intro it on Pepper and Genie.
Yeah,
and then run
that
it.
could be huge for Pepper and Genie.
Well, put it wherever they want. I don't care.
Well,
Wherever
you have
Jack-
to do it because it's yours. You're
I'll
gonna
put
have
it
to.
on the Pepper.
No,
and Genie
I'll do the
side.
interview, but Jackson can put it wherever he wants. Whatever's easiest for him.
But wouldn't that be a real feather in the cap of the Pepper and Genie folks?
That's a Pepper and Genie thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the one that puts it up, so I think that'd be fine.
Yeah, we'll be on Pepper and Genie's podcast. I don't have one. I was going to have Bob Costas on mine, but I don't have one.
You don't have a podcast, so he couldn't come on it.
Well, they would have went somewhere. Just like my Mark Farner and Ellen Foley. I don't know where they go.
Well, that was before Pepper and Genie.
Yeah, Pepper and Genie didn't exist.
Now you have a platform.
So where do they go?
On Pepper and Genie.
But where do they go before we did Pepper and Genie?
Our YouTube
Put them
channel.
on YouTube,
Nice.
which wasn't the move. The move is putting it on Pepper and Genie.
Yeah, so
'Cause
they
that's-
automatically download on people's phones,
Because that's getting millions of downloads.
YouTube style.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun interview. I never saw her on Boy Meets World.
Oh, I have, but I don't think she wants to talk about Boy Meets World.
Is she the biggest star that came out of Boy Meets World? You have to think. I'm looking at the cast, bunch
Well,
of
now.
no names.
Before porn, was she doing anything before that?
No, I'm saying because of her
Yeah,
stint in the industry, I figured that she would be the most popular.
Topanga still looks really good.
Is that right? I haven't seen her in a while.
She was back in the news last year when her husband found a shrimp in his cereal.
Oh,
You remember that?
Oh yeah.
He
But it
found
was-
shrimp in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
shrimp are the cockroach of the ocean.
Rich Gould calls them the candy of the sea.
But it's also the cockroach of the ocean.
I prefer
But they
Rich
taste
Gould.
good. Yeah.
Another question. You're married, but your interest in women compared to men, and
Nice.
do you ever bring other women back to the bedroom with the husband?
That's always a great question. I think any interview, I would like to hear the answer to that question.
Yeah. So it'll be hard hitting.
Percentage of married couples in St. Louis, Iggy. This is for you. In their 20s, 30s, and 40s, who are having the less popular MFF at least once a year. Go.
2%.
Oh, wow. I think I'd go over. What do you think on that, Doug?
I'd say that or lower.
God bless America.
I don't think
Bob,
people
where
are
are
as
you?
frisky as we'd like to think they are.
8%.
8%.
I think COVID.
8%.
COVID did it.
You can never go wrong with
It's just a
either
blanket.
blaming COVID, the media, or society.
Wouldn't COVID keep it from happening?
Don't forget about the shipping issues.
Right.
Oh, supply chain.
Yeah, supply chain.
It's in Long Beach. It's
You hit all
Long
four of
Beach.
those in a speech, and you could pretty much wrap it
Ah.
up.
Chips. Can't get the chips.
We haven't gotten that couch yet. Been waiting for 8 months. Get a girl in here.
Right.
Guys, can we please get to the big story? Thanks. That's from Conclusion the Stripper. What is that?
What's that? Queen?
There is no big story.
Big story.
I guess the Queen. Is that what it's
Cardinals
talking about?
lost. The Rams lost. Missouri, it's going to rain tomorrow.
Oh.
Gabe's going to be on at 10.
Maybe John Hamm.
He sent a screenshot. The Conclusion the Stripper did. Of something.
This is from September 3rd. Right?
Yeah.
September 9th. Doug, what's going on? Does anybody see my
I don't
nurse?
know. I
It's in
can't.
I'll let you guys figure it out. I'm going to talk about Munganess while you figure it out.
All right.
I don't have the
Jamie
text
Burke
inbox.
was the
I don't
best.
know what it is.
Clayton Patterson's the best. Peter Munganess the best. Munganess, St. Louis Acura is the best. Alton Toyota is the best. They're all online, stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. So you can go shopping right now, Jack. You don't have to go to the lot. Just go online. And now you're shopping and seeing what kind of inventory they have, both for new and pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're buying or leasing, work with the best. It's who we're working with. It's where I'm getting my car repaired right now because, again, somebody in my household backed into somebody else's car in my
Jameson.
household.
You know, young drivers always seem to find problems.
That's right, Aiden.
You know.
He's driving.
He called me silly when I asked him that at the member guest. He wanted to stay, and I said, well, just take the keys and drive home. I'm not old enough to drive, silly. Maybe he
My son
tried.
said that to me.
Maybe he tried. I think he's right. I'm going to try to drive.
He's a sharpshooter. Yeah, it's Munganess, the best. stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. Work with Jamie Burkhardt. If you'd like an introduction, email me, tmckernan@insidestl.com, and I will connect you with Munganess so you can interact and ask questions directly, and then you'll feel like you have somebody you know you can talk to anytime with any question you want, not just calling a number and like, hey, can you help me out and get passed around. Hell no. stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. Doug Ryan Kelly is our title sponsor, and he's online at thehomeloanexpert.com. That's where you're going to find him.
That's exactly where he is. You know, if you're one of these people, and there are a lot of them, that have this monumental credit card debt. I don't know what you're paying, 18, 20% on that. That's just crazy. If you're a homeowner, you don't have to pay that. You can pay all that off with the equity that you have in your mortgage and then roll that in and pay the much, much lower interest rate on the mortgage. It just makes good sense, and Ryan Kelly has been helping people do that for many years. If you need extra cash to pay off those high-interest credit cards or make home improvements or do whatever you want with the money, it's your money. Many people could use that extra cash, and a simple cash-out refi is available with the Home Loan Expert. The Home Loan Expert offers low interest rates and refi with an average cash-out of $54,000. And the bidding wars are ending. It's officially a buyer's market now in real estate. The Home Loan Expert has unique loan programs for almost anyone, including those with less than perfect credit, government-backed mortgage loans, self-employed borrowers, and more. Their amazing customer service and 10-day closing guarantee can only be found at the Home Loan Expert. If you have questions or you're ready to get pre-approved, learn more today at thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan Kelly, fantastic guy, friend of the show for many years, title sponsor for many years, would love to help you in any kind of mortgage problem, question that you might have. Go to thehomeloanexpert.com.
There it is, Ryan Kelly, title sponsor of this program for a decade. Get involved on the show by texting in the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox 314-881-TMA5. And then you can also email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. And call in to our Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone line 636-9004-TMA. We put out, Doug, this is our classified section of the program. I know, a good portion of the audience is not on the TMA fan page on Facebook, so I'll put this out there. The great Mike Flanagan, who creates and handles the TMA STL shop with all the merch and those new Cardinal shirts, came out yesterday. Is looking for somebody to be a graphic designer. He has graphic designers, but Doug, do you call it backlogged?
Oh, well, sometimes I do.
Yeah, so so then we can't turn things around as quickly. So we would love to have somebody, and you can just work directly with me or with Mike. Email me, tmckernan@insidestl.com. If you have graphic design background, to create some of these shirts. That we have the ideas for the shirts, but we need is it a vector file that we need? Is it a vector
What's
file?
the vector, Victor?
Indeed.
That's what it is, Jackson?
Yeah, it's a Photoshop file.
Yeah, so that's of interest to you, and then each time you create one, you'll get $100. So it's going to be a little side project. It's not like we need them to be intricate. So anyway, that's
side hustle.
Side hustle.
Yeah.
And some people like seeing people wearing their stuff. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com, because there's a thirst for the Cardinals are coming tra-la tra-la shirt, but we can't get it turned around as quickly because he's got a bunch of different places whose merchandise he handles. So that's number one. And then also number two, Doug, I need the person next door who is handling our lawn. He will not be doing it anymore, and so I need a lawn service. I'm not looking for a freebie by any means. I just need a lawn service. For how many more cuts do you think will be necessary in 2022?
Oh, 2 or 3 probably.
All right. Well, you hooked me up with that guy who I know he was a superintendent at some golf course, and you said he made my lawn flush, I believe. Holy crap, what
Isn't
they did.
It amazing,
oh,
the difference?
My God.
Mine is so darn thick. I'm cutting it every 5 or 6 days.
It's unbelievable. That's what I have. But it's amazing because I saw a picture of one of my son's birthday parties last year, and the grass was hideous. I didn't really care. And then I hired the guy you told me about, and now the grass it's like the rough at the U.S. Open. It's unbelievable.
Just incredible
so
difference it makes.
I need a cut. So T. McKernan Inside STL, and I'm paying. I'll overpay. I don't care. I just need it done. I just need it done. So T. McKernan Inside STL.com. Any classifieds, Iggy? You still looking for a date to a concert or anything?
Yeah, looking for a date for Point Fest.
Nice. Okay. Doug, you looking for a date to anything?
Going with a couple listeners.
I'm okay. I don't really have any classifieds at the moment.
Plowhawk, anything you're looking for, or anything you need, anything you want to put out there as far as a service goes?
Man, I don't think so.
Yeah. You haven't lost a dog or anything?
No. I mean,
Not trying to sell a bowling ball? Or...
No, there is something, but it's not something I want to say on air.
That maybe Pepper and Genie classifieds.
No, it's not. It's not that kind of classified. It's just I don't want to give away any secrets.
No. You know, I did see something on, and I don't know if it's real or not. I forgot the guy's name, but I took a picture with him in the VIP area before Pitbull. He came by and said, big fan, and he posted, saw something where Jay Boyd had posted and said, Iggy will be there at the concert. So we took a picture, and then he posted in the fan page that Pitbull came out after the show. He went and took a quick shower, and then came out to the VIP section where Iggy was sitting before the concert and just hung out with people. And I don't know if he's kidding or not.
So right where you would have been.
Yeah, so if he's being serious, I'm pissed that if I'd have known that, I could have just went back to the VIP area after the show, hung out, and met Pitbull. So I don't know if he's maybe effing with me. That right where Iggy was, he came out after a shower. Not many guys would do that and just hung out with the people. I can't see any performer, especially Pitbull, just going through the masses at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, getting to the VIP. I'm just going to go in here and say hi to people. So if he's listening, I just want to know if that was true or not, or if you were just kind of...
Pitbull is listening?
No, if the guy who posted that is messing around with me, or if that really happened.
I think he's yanking your chain, brother.
It could be, but he didn't seem like the kind of guy that would do that to me.
Doesn't seem anything that's beyond the realm of possibility. That somebody, an hour after a show, would come out and talk to the people that are still hanging around.
Well, I'm sure there's probably people that paid for a meet and greet, because they do those packages. So he's backstage meeting with a few people that paid. I can't see him charging people to pay and then just hanging out in the VIP and just hanging out with strangers.
How much do they pay to go backstage to meet the stars?
Yeah, they vary. I think Taylor Swift's like $2,900.
Oh, wow.
Damn, that's way more than I thought.
Yeah.
I was looking for tickets for Pearl Jam in a week and a half or so. Holy crap.
Oh, that's
just for the hell of it. I mean, I probably wasn't going to go anyway, but just for amusement. My God. Doug, I'm talking, like, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, it wasn't he was one on the floor, but just, lower bowl seats.
I'm going to Luke Bryan tonight, and that's sold out completely.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You do country shows in St. Louis. It's
I
gold.
couldn't get those tickets either.
And I think Michael Bublé is playing tonight, too, downtown at the Enterprise Center.
Oh, cool.
And I think that's sold out.
You going to both of them?
No.
Miss.
It's funny because I went back to the Keishi, the rock show book that you can sign for tickets, and you turn to Pearl Jam, just as big letters. Keep moving. No tickets. Go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an Eddie Vedder fan. I can't understand half the stuff he says, but...
Well, those concerts, they do well here in town.
Oh, yeah.
They really do. I don't know if it's... Well, maybe this just happens everywhere. Maybe these artists sell out everywhere they go.
Well, I think it's been...
It's not just us, it's the whole
No,
country.
but I think a lot of it has to do with, when COVID hit, there were 2 years of no concerts, and that killed me, man, because, I love going to concerts. I like just being around a bunch of people and enjoying music. And when you couldn't do that for 2 years and bands kept canceling, and now that they're all back out, people just want to go to concerts. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
A week ago, I went to a Prince cover band underneath the circus tent, and that place was packed.
Flip that off.
Like everything.
Circus tent?
Yeah.
Where was
That is a good place to watch concerts, though.
I think Midtown. It was actually, we pre-gamed at Urban Chestnut, which I've never been to that location, and it is fantastic. And it was just
Is it
a
at the
half
Grove?
a block. No, not that one. It was like Midtown, I think it was.
Yeah, it's on Washoe.
Yeah, and so it was a half a block walk to the concert. It was legit. But my point is, like, even concerts like that, like, have a huge crowd.
Yeah. You think it's because there's not much else to do here?
Well, yeah.
That's got something to do with the Cardinals' attendance, I think, because that's just...
But I think I gave you the answer. It's been so long since people could go to live shows at once. And all these bands started going out on tour. So there's a lot of huge acts playing. Unfortunately, The Cure isn't one of them, but...
Like Bob Smith.
A lot of
like a fake name.
A lot of huge bands are out on the road, so...
I guess. That's part of it. It's not the only answer.
No.
When people are looking for things to do tonight, I don't think they're thinking, well, what couldn't I do during COVID? I'm going to do that now. I think they just go
see Luke
wherever
Bryant.
They go wherever the best entertainment option is.
Well, Michael Bublé. If you don't like Frank Sinatra, go see him.
Yeah. I'd go see him, I guess. It's not very manly, but I'd go see him.
Like, I've got 3 this month. I got
Wow, you're a busy man.
Point Fest. I got Mark Farner.
Harold Varner?
Mark, you know Mark Farner. My interview with Mark Farner.
Oh,
yeah, I can listen to that a few
I don't
times.
know who it is.
Got it on preset.
No, I didn't. Where is he?
There's one other one. I think he's playing the Family Arena.
How about this? I didn't know this. Los Lonely Boys sold out the Dairy Queen in Hillsborough within like 3 hours. That's
Oh,
from
did they
Sesame
really?
Street.
Yeah, I think it was like 2.5.
They got a couple picnic benches there.
Yeah, well, they're playing indoors. Right by the soft surf.
I just got this text from the head of Engineer Design Facilities Marketing and said Clayton Patterson of Munganess saved EDF $3,000 on one of our fleet vehicles this week. The dealer wanted $11K to fix our van. St. Louis Acura charged us $8 and saved us $3. Same warranties. They really are the best in the business. How about that? Just another example. This TMA ecosystem. You start advertising on TMA, then you enter the ecosystem, and that's what's happened here with Engineer Design Facilities in Munganess. It's great to hear. Engineer Design Facilities is a sponsor of our text inbox on the program, 314-881. TMA5, 314-881-TMA5. Save it in your phone, and then you're just texting with us, or you can use the app and communicate with us directly. I noticed one of the things that people like to do is complain about Iggy to me directly as opposed to using the app because you can contact people directly. So you can contact Iggy. Like, it'd be weird if somebody were complaining about me to you, Ken, but I get that. But either way, you can communicate with us using the TMA STL app.
What did they say?
It's take a guess.
Somebody slid into your DMs?
I don't.
Well, it happens on our...
I don't mind. I don't mind hearing the stupid criticism.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just delete it right away so I don't spend time
well,
on it.
I've blocked it, so I don't get it.
Yeah, I
anymore.
accidentally.
I don't know how you guys did that, but then I think I blocked that. Then you know what you do, Doug? You throw the baby out with the bathwater because about half of them are people really communicating.
Yeah. Well,
But if you have a problem with, if you have a problem with me, then you contact me. If you have a problem with the Plowhawk, I'd contact the Plowhawk. I don't understand that.
I mean,
Grill 111.
my email address has been out there many, many times. You should have it memorized by now. It's brought up so many times by Henshin.
How about if you have a problem with one of us, you just kind of deal with it and move
Yeah,
along?
just
How about that idea?
just look in the mirror and throw some water on your face and just who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 3 hours a day that you have to put up with me. Then you have the 21 hours to do whatever you want and not have to listen to me.
Well, nobody has to put up with any of it. Most of us have buttons on our radio. If you have a problem with all of us, just don't listen! Block us!
Those are my favorite kind of people on Twitter and just in general. I'm officially done with this, and they're not.
Yeah, they're right back.
No, that's the one guy blocked in there. He was just bitched and bitched and bitched and bitched every day, and then
Block
said,
him.
"That's the worst. This is the last straw. This is just terrible.
Yeah,
I'm not
Father
listening
White.
anymore."
That's the guy.
And then the next day, I can't believe you guys talked about this again. And I just finally responded. I said, "I thought you quit yesterday. Why are you back?"
Yeah.
And then blocked him. I didn't care.
I'd block him.
But I think when I blocked him, I blocked everybody.
Block him.
That's how I did it, too.
While you're sending in your text, know that Engineer Design Facilities Fire Division is now testing, inspecting, and maintaining the fire system on all commercial kitchen and restaurant hoods. So if you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com, and they'll have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com. That's Engineered Designed Facilities. Sponsor of the text inbox here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Stratum Structural Systems is online at stratumrepair.com. Work with the great Matt Ford, the great Brett Groman of Stratum Structural Systems. I worked with him a month ago because we had a situation while we were out of town when those storms were rolling through. A lot of people dealt with water issues. If you're dealing with water issues, waterproofing issues, foundation repair needs, think local and think Stratum. Let them know you're a TMA listener. You get $100 off your repair project. That's 314-620-8153. They have over 5 decades of combined structural experience in basement waterproofing and foundation repair at Stratum. They're in Chesterfield, Missouri. They're in Columbia, Illinois, and they have hundreds of reviews with a 5-star rating on Google, Home Advisor, Angie's List, Facebook, and the Better Business Bureau. They're Better Business Bureau credit with an A+ rating. They are the best. They are Stratum. It's who I use. The word is out around town that if you have a waterproofing or foundation need, you work with Stratum, and you let them know you're a TMA listener online at stratumrepair.com. Think about it. What are you doing? Oh, you're thinking about it. The Cardinals lose yesterday, and that's going to happen, which is going to make getting to that's why I took the under on the 96.5 yesterday, Jackson, on Balloon Party.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, it's just so tough to get, what you're going to have to win. You're going to have to win it like now. They'll have to win it at a 79% clip to do it. But those things will happen. Adam Wainwright's had a couple of starts in a row that are a little rough. One against the Cubs, one against the Nationals. Doug, your thoughts?
Well, I'm pretty upset that we allowed 18 safeties to that outfit.
Nice.
Some fella named Adam Call, 4 hits including a dinger and 5 runs driven in. What the world's going on? Come on, Mo, get somebody in here who can put out the fire. This season is not over yet. I'm not going to sit here and watch this club put it in neutral and just coast to the finish line. I'm not going to do it. And I want someone to pay the price for splitting 4 with one of the worst clubs in all of baseball. Something's got to change, and it sure better start changing tonight against the Buccos.
Jordan Hicks had a good game.
Jordan Hicks had a great game. I'm not talking about Hicks.
He gave up 3 runs.
He gave up 3 runs, and that's 3 too many. Hicks is no exception. He's got to get his act together along with everybody else. We've got the best fans in baseball, and they don't come out on a Thursday afternoon to watch our club slapped around by that outfit. Tired of it.
Yes. Jackson's applauding.
You guys just aren't as passionate as I am. That's all.
They're really like in a no man's land spot because they're probably not catching the Mets as great as it would be, and the Brewers are going to have to rattle off basically 20 wins, and the Cardinals are going to have a monumental collapse.
Yeah.
And they have 24 games left, and 9 of them are against the Pirates. So, it'd be tough to have happen. So they're kind of in a no man's land spot, barring a miracle. One way or the other, they're the 3 seed.
I guess the positive you take from that is it looks like Molina's swinging the bat pretty well right now.
Hot.
2 home runs. He's had a really good September. If he can stay hot for the playoffs, that gives him another bat. They've not gotten much offense from the catching position all year. But if he can hit like he has in the past and like he has over the past couple of weeks, that's a big plus.
Well, he's fresh. Hasn't played much.
Yeah, a lot of vacation
A lot of time off.
Was that a 4-hour game yesterday?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Do you not start playing pools every day now?
Yeah. Well, he's cooled off in a big way. He was 0 for 5 yesterday.
Yeah, but he didn't play like the day before. He had a pinch hit today. I mean, he's Just every day. What does it matter?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter because they're probably locked into that 3, like Tim said, and might as well give him an opportunity. He's 5 away. You don't want to. I mean, every at-bat counts. I don't care if he goes 0 for 5. I don't think he cares either.
No, they just have to be sure that Dickerson continues to get his at-bats because he's up to like 290 right now. He's one of the hottest hitters they have, and you're going to probably use him in the playoffs. So you don't want to bury anybody on the bench to get Pujols his at-bats.
Well, Dickerson's been playing the outfield, hasn't he?
The last couple nights he has.
He's keeping the
Especially
outfield
with Carlson now hurt. Talk about 4-hour games. Maybe we won't see that many with these rule changes that they're going to vote on today. Do you see that story?
Yeah.
They're going to put in the time clock next year where you get 15 seconds to pitch, 20 seconds if there's a runner on base. Hitters got to be in the box with 8 seconds left on the clock.
They get 1 timeout per at bat, right?
Yeah, it's like the home
I
run
think
derby.
so.
Larger bases.
Larger bases.
Yeah,
The
18-inch
stolen
bases.
base. Was the stolen base going to return? They're trying to encourage the stolen base. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like my whole problem with like the pace of play is changing pitchers. The pitchers have been in the bullpen, throwing full bullpen sessions, ready to get in the game.
Yeah.
They get in the game, and then you got to wait for him to have like another 5 to 8 minutes of throwing pitches to
7
the catcher.
pitches, I think.
Like, I mean, come on. Just once he's in, you're ready to go.
You'd like him to have a couple throws off a new mound, wouldn't
What's
you?
it? A new mound? I mean, come
Different
on.
mound. Well, it's different. The bullpen
And the
from the
bullpen
game.
at the same everything. Just get up there and start throwing.
So you'd like no pitches from a relief pitcher coming in.
Not on the actual mound, but in the bullpen, they throw for 5 minutes. I mean, they should be warmed up, ready to go.
Who votes on this?
Darnell Coles.
I think the Players Union.
Do you think they'll vote yes on the no more 4 on the infield on the right side?
Yeah, that's part of it too.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of the shift.
You
Or guys
cannot.
playing the
You have to
outfield.
be on the dirt prior to the pitch being thrown. So I guess guys could run to the shift if they wanted to.
I guess
That'd be funny to see.
Yeah.
Everyone in full sprint to get to the shift, and then it hits the other way.
I'm in favor of it. I think anything that adds to the entertainment value is good, and I think it would.
I love the idea of the stolen base returning.
Yeah.
God, I like that. I am a huge fan of that.
Yeah,
but I think that's my bias growing up with the Cardinals in the 80s, so I have to acknowledge that the fact that I am indeed a fraud.
Like that's why they're also limiting twice you can throw over to first base. Or you can step off and throw twice, I think.
Yeah.
Which is going to help the stolen base.
I mean, the shift is strategic.
What?
Like, isn't it easier to
Well, I
hit
mean,
the
if you're only
opposite
allowed
way?
to throw over 2 times and keep the guy close, I mean, there's some pitchers that'll throw over there 5 or 6 times with a guy that can steal a base.
Well, I didn't. You're right.
Yeah,
Biggie's
3
right.
times is a balk.
2 disengagements from the rubber, including pickoff attempts per plate appearance. So what are guys just going to
take the
get
monster
the
lead.
monster lead on if they've done it twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can literally almost get to
That's how
the second-
Molina stole third the other day.
Well, if you get
guy
a
just
mo-
was like, I'm not even aware of him being back there, and he just walked his way over into a huge lead. Holy
If you
crap.
no, you
Take
can.
off as soon as he gets on the rubber.
You can throw a 3rd time, but if he's safe, it's a balk.
Oh.
I see.
He's awarded the next base. If you throw over there and he's
see.
safe. So if you get a huge
Got
lead,
it.
and if he's
Got
going to steal, well, he steals it anyway. If you throw over there and you get him out, then he's out.
If you take a monster
Pitchers
lead-
can step off the rubber twice per plate appearance without penalty, but after a 3rd step off, which does not result in a pickoff, a balk will be called.
Oh,
In other words, a pitcher can throw over to first base up to 3 times, but the 3rd attempt must lead to an out or the runner gets to advance a base. The disengagement rule resets when a runner gets to a new base. With no runners, a 3rd step off would result in a mound visit. That I get. All right. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'm in favor of all that.
Okay, because when the way Iggy laid it out, I was like, oh my God, guys are just going to get
No,
Yeah, I
softball leads.
I didn't see
Can't
the
do
other
that.
part of that as far as, the 3rd time, if he's safe, you get it's a balk. I didn't see that. I saw you're only allowed to throw over twice.
Well, I've seen many a game, and Gallegos was guilty of this more so early in the season than now, where it would be 45 seconds between his pitches. It was just dreadful.
Brutal.
I hated when he came into the game. 15 seconds, that's a difference maker in a big way. Get the ball and throw it again.
Yeah, Dak is a bit deliberate as well.
Yeah.
He takes his time.
It's a whole different game when you get a pitcher who gets the ball, stays on the mound, and throws it. Gets it, throws it. As opposed to a guy who gets it, takes off his hat, walks behind the mound, gets the rosin bag, checks the sign, steps off. That's what kills the game, I think. I'd be for all these changes. And if they don't work, go back. Go back the way it was.
Right, yeah. I like it, too. And I didn't think I would like these things. I mean, some of them I wasn't aware of. So I'm like, just figure out the shift. But,
That's where I'm at. Like, that's the one that I don't get. Like, you're rewarding players for not just doing opposite field hitting.
But the issue is the pitchers are at a point now that they throw so damn hard. It's not like something that you can just, like, flick a bat and Tony Gwynn it to the opposite field. It's just, the game's got to do something to make a change and improve it, and perhaps this will work. I was against it, candidly. But I'm willing to give it a shot. And by the way, Sneezens is indeed, Sneezens is pleasing. So get your TMA merch at tmastlshop.com. And we are giving 10% off with these new shirts online. Shirts, hats, golf head covers, they're all there. And 2 weeks from today, you can show off those wonderful TMA STL head covers that were designed by Fan Page Club champion Chris Heck. At the Lemmings Open. It's 2 weeks from today. Michelob Ultra, the presenting sponsor of the Lemmings Open. Doug, we're going to have we're going to fatten up for the slaughters. What we're going to do?
Are we?
We're going to have donut drive-in for breakfast.
Sure.
We're going to wash it down with Michelob Ultra all day long. It's all included.
Well, you won't get fattened up with the Mick Ultra.
That's right, because it's only got 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs.
That's what it is.
And then we're going to wash that down with Potbelly sandwiches.
Yeah.
And then we'll wash that down with Uncle Leo's pizza afterwards.
You could leave with a nice set of love handles.
Speaking of which, the drops of the week will come your way at 8:30. The Bertarelli Cutlery Cuts of the week at 9:30. And the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day will come your way at 9:45. Design Air is the official HVAC provider of TMA. Work with Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff at Design Air Heating and Cooling. You're running any air conditioning issues, go to designairservice.com and work with the best. You click on Book Now, and the service techs come out there quick, fast, and in a hurry. Doug is a client. I am a client. And I was in such a deep little sleep this morning.
Oh, like the tiniest of babies?
Yeah, like the tiniest of babies. I haven't looked at Doug. I haven't looked at it yet to tell you what my REM was. Oh, wow, 93% recovery.
Okay.
Wow, 29.
Nice recovery,
my
Tim.
HRV. That's high. That's high for me. It's low for the average person, but that's high for me. How about that? I wonder what went so well. I was in a deep sleep. I know that.
Nice recovery.
Thank you. Thank you to the good people at Whoop. I got a Whoop 4.0 now.
I would have liked to have seen mine yesterday because I took a 4-hour nap.
Nice, big day.
Oh, don't you wake up feeling worse than when you went to bed?
Yeah, I did, kind of. It's like I just woke up from going to work in the morning. It's like, God, it's 5. I went to bed and took a nap at noon and woke up at 4:10.
Oh, wow, that's way too much.
So what time did you go to bed?
It's going to play well in the text inbox.
And then I went to bed at 11 and woke up at 5:30. I got a lot of sleep.
That's almost too much.
Yeah, I didn't mean to sleep that long. I figured I'd, doze off for a couple hours. Just get up when I get up.
Mm-hmm. Well, life is good when you have that
I keep the blinds open a little bit so I have a nice sunlight coming in. It's nothing better than an afternoon nap. But that was more like it was almost like a regular sleep.
Yeah.
Was that 6 hours?
4 hours.
It'd be 4, noon to 4, it'd be 4 hours.
Okay, never mind.
No, it was 6 hours evening, so 10 hours.
Oh.
I'm all caught up. Good.
All right. I've heard that no matter how tired you are, if you have 1 8-hour sleep, you're caught up. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but that's what I read. That 1 night's sleep will get you caught up no matter how tired you've been.
Tiger used to say that, and I don't know how he can do it, but Tiger said back in the day that he would sleep like maybe 3 hours in the evening, but he would take a bunch of like 10, 15-minute cat naps during the day.
Oh, all right.
He said, I just lay on the couch for 15 minutes, get up, and I go do stuff, and I kind of sit in a chair, and I doze off for 15 minutes, and then at night I only sleep for 3 hours.
Supposedly Thomas Edison was that way, where he didn't sleep overnight. He just got little naps during the day.
Yeah, it's an astronaut thing, too.
Is that right?
Yeah, astronaut. They say astronaut nap is like the 15-minute. I think some astronaut NASA study was like nap should either be 15 minutes or 90 minutes, because that way you like get into REM sleep, but not all the way.
How do you pass out in 15 minutes?
Well, for 15 minutes.
Oh.
Not in 15, for 15 minutes. So you set it. If I went to bed right now and set an alarm for about 8:10. Ooh,
nice little nap, little cat nap.
But also shower after naps. Huge.
What? Every time?
Every time.
What would that do? Just to help wake you up?
Feel refreshed. There's no more refreshing feeling than a 90-minute nap in the shower.
How about a pool?
Pool will do.
Like you
just shock the system a little.
Yeah. Now, Jackson had a pool growing up in Ladue.
You better believe it.
We did not have pools.
6 feet deep.
pools. You know,
grotto.
We didn't have cement
Grotto.
where I was from.
Yeah, we had one of those aluminum ones.
You had aluminum? We didn't have aluminum. We would love to have had aluminum. We had dirt mostly.
Just a trough.
You know, some mud and little lava. Whatever we could do with that. Pool, aluminum, cement. You kidding me? We weren't that rich.
Do we have Lisa Ann today?
Yep. Lisa Ann, 9 o'clock. Captain's log. 2-part questions. Send them in. 314-881-TMA5. How do you do?
Well, the one thing you get with the pool and all that money is potential tax problems, but you won't have any tax problems if you got Mark Milton. No, sirree. You've probably heard by now the IRS is receiving an additional $80 billion in funding to increase enforcement and audits of taxpayers. If that news worries you, contact former Department of Justice Tax Division attorney Mark Milton at stltaxlawyer.com. He worked right there for the Department of Justice, so he knows the ins and the outs and anything that can get you in trouble and how to get you out of trouble. If you have unfiled tax returns, now is the time to act. Mark and his team focus on tax debt resolution and can help with years of unfiled tax returns, defense against audits, and even criminal tax investigations. Clean up your tax issues and get yourself back into compliance before all those new IRS agents are hired and enforcement ramps up. If you have IRS problems, contact STL Tax Lawyer Mark Milton at stltaxlawyer.com. You'll be saying to the IRS, I might have a pool, but hey, I'm not guilty. I'm with Milty. And remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on adverts.
Real nice. Real cool. Because Brooklyn's cool. Friday, June, and the last day of school. We're in the Michelob Ultra Studios. It's the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan, Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, Action Jackson, Virgin Pringle Sauce Boss, and the Plowhawk with you on the program. 2 weeks from the Lemmings Open. How do you do?
That's crazy.
I think I'm just going to pony up on 17 this year.
17.
I like that little par 3.
Oh, do you?
Oh, that'd be 16.
17's a par 5.
16.
I'm bringing my rocking chair this year. I didn't bring a chair last year or last time at the Dodo. I'm going to bring a little rocking chair. And I'm going to have each group give me a ball to use so I don't have to use 100 of mine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The ones I gave you.
Yeah, they were donated to Normandy.
That you just left there, yeah. You were too high to go pick them up, and there were like 50 balls just laying down there. I'll get them later.
We're going to have that could be a great time with all the food and Maggie O's the night before. Oh. That was a pony at Maggie O's last time.
Yeah, it was.
That was great.
Are you going to go 13 again?
Yeah. Was I on 13? I was on 5, wasn't I?
Yeah, I was on 12. You were on 5. Kind of the hub of Normandy.
Mm-hmm.
13 would be good, though.
Yeah.
See if I could drive it.
Yeah. Now that you're working on it.
Said there was a hole-in-one in the Normandy Amateur on a par 4.
Crazy. On 13, right?
The crazy part isn't the distance. The distance is reasonable. The ability to stick that green with a driver and have it roll into the hole from that angle.
Well, Big Al was backing up his driver.
Well, he was, but his was on 12, which is a 110-yard downhill shot.
Yeah.
This was on a, 300, I don't know. I have no idea.
Probably 290.
I have trouble.
290?
Yeah, well, if you
290 as the crow flies. What do you say as the crow flies?
I say that.
If you cut it over that tree, it's about, you're carrying about 275, 290 to the pin. But it's a postage stamp green.
I have trouble holding that green with a wedge.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it just once it hits, it just rolls out, rolls to the back of the green. So yeah, I'm guessing it was probably a bounce in the rough, a bounce in the green, and a bounce in the hole.
So yeah, if I just hit tee shots on 13 for people, I'll probably get 3 holes in one. I would think.
Oh, well, don't sell yourself short,
no,
Timmy.
Just
5 or 6.
Just because of the wind.
Now that you're playing that right to left, that's a perfect hole for you.
You know, Doug, I can't execute that on command. It's a high-risk move. Sure, I'll start my line out to the right, but if I'm not able to execute that draw, the ball's just going to be a push, and we're going to have problems.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that to people. I love when you turds have a tournament at the Rock.
Wow.
I end up with a handful of balls in my backyard. I'm on hole 15. Horrible shots. That's from Stan the caddy, who I guess lives off of Normandy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you would get a lot of golf balls in your backyard if you lived on a...
That's a very gettable hole.
Is it? I don't remember what hole.
Well, I've seen a couple of backyards off 15. You're not. What are we ruining?
Oh, wow. We're going to take a shot at the homeowners.
Wow, and wow, and wow.
Damn. Oh.
Stan the caddy.
Not exactly like what you saw at Belle Reve, was it?
No, not quite.
You're used to old Warson type of homes lining the course.
One's got a barn.
a house with a barn there?
Well, one of those sheds.
Well, Normandy got
Barn
chicken
shed.
coops on like 16.
The original Exorcist house, the house where the kid that was the theme for The Exorcist, is right there, close to Normandy Gulf.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Linda Blair?
Scary.
Is the house still
Linda Blair starred in the movie, but the kid that actually was the subject of the real-life exorcism in St. Louis, he lived in a house.
Oh, I didn't know that was.
And where
very close.
is that home still up, or did they?
Yeah, it's still up.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And is Satan still in there, or is he gone?
I don't think Satan's in there anymore.
It was Pazuzu. That was the name of the spirit.
Was it?
Pazuzu.
Like in the actual historical anecdote of this episode, or in the film?
The film.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I always like the name Pazuzu. It's not
a
very
bad
scary.
Name. Not a bad name.
I thought it was Damien.
I guess there's still people living in the house. I saw pictures of it in a story online a year or so ago.
Would you be hesitant to live in a home with Satan?
I probably would be.
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
Probably
with you,
would be.
Too. Probably
Yeah,
get a good deal on it.
No chance. No chance. They probably paid more, wouldn't you think? The Exorcist house?
I don't know. I don't know if they would or not.
The marketing of that for the real estate agent's got to be like a 7-foot putt, a real tester.
Yeah, they probably really think, do we market it and say this is it, or do we say nothing about it at all?
They were talking about the Conjuring house in New York, and that sold for a lot of money.
Did it?
Yeah.
Were they living in there?
People are living in that Conjuring house thing.
Guys, I want to make sure I heard this right. Did Iggy just make fun of someone else's living arrangements? The guy with the breezeway patio of his apartment. Thanks. That's from Bobby Big Wheels.
Yeah, I mean, you guys make fun of my place all the time, so why can't I make fun of somebody else's?
Have at it.
Stan the caddy took the shrapnel.
Oh, that guy. I already forgot about him.
When you hit a golf ball in somebody's backyard up by the house, do you go look for it? Do you go get it, or you just leave it there?
Leave it.
I did. I hit one out on 16 last time we played. Hit a perfect drive, and then I hooked my 3-wood, and it went in somebody's front yard, and Cletus walked across the street and picked it up.
Yeah.
It was out of bounds, but I still got the ball back.
17? You're talking about Normandy? It's a par 5?
Yeah, 17. Hit a good drive, just up toward the bunker, and then I just duck hooked my 3-wood, hit that mound, and just bounced in the people's front yard.
Usually it's not a front yard. In most courses, it seems like it's usually the backyard because the house backs up to the golf course.
Yeah, well, this went across the street, so it was a front yard. Just missed a car, too, thank God.
Yeah. I have to admit, I usually walk in the backyard and pick it up.
I guess
Not real proud of it, but I do.
You feel out the situation.
Yeah, you look. Is there a dog? Are they looking out the window?
Yeah.
Did I break anything?
Curtains open, look for the
Yeah.
dog with the invisible fence.
Is it just a few steps to pick up the ball? I'll do that. If it's way back by the house or the foundation, if it's in the flowers, probably not.
Oh, this one's not even mine.
People are on their patio having a little barbecue.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Did you see a Titleist come over here? Yeah, it's in my potato salad.
I would be worried if I lived in a spot that routinely had golf balls flying in the backyard, that you're going to get hit in the head with it, or one of your kids would get tattooed with the ball or something, or that you get windows broken, and then people run the other way. You never know who did it.
I'm sure there's some sort of insurance. You would think.
Well, you do have insurance on your house, but usually there's a deductible, and if it's a broken window or something, the deductible probably not going to cover that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be relaxing, though, if you, depending on, obviously, the country club, then you got a view of the fairway and the green grass and the green. It's not, I'm not talking about 15 off of Normandy. But if you lived in a country club and you got a nice house overlooking the golf course, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Maybe every now and then you get out there with a couple balls and practice your chipping or something.
Yeah.
Me and Doug, remember this? And I know right when I bring it up, we were in Florida for spring training. We had one of those like Airbnbs. It was kind of when Airbnbs were getting popular. We had that like screened-in porch, like patio overlooking, I think 17 on one of the holes there at a.
Was it 17?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that old lady from like 170 out, and it was a terrible swing. And right before Doug goes, I bet you she whiffs this.
Yeah.
She hits a pure shot and drains it.
From 170?
It was, middle of the fairway, her second shot.
So it was a second shot?
Little
Eagle?
shot.
How do you
she
do?
had like a teacher with her, like a guy going around showing her how to swing the club, and he was standing there telling her what to do.
It looked like one of her first time golfing because she had the instructor.
And she pure as an eagle from 170.
Pure as an eagle.
Yeah.
And me and Doug are standing.
And she was an
right
older
there.
woman?
65 at least, yeah.
Wow. Bomber hitting 170.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Maybe an albatross.
Wish we had a camera on that.
I know.
Speaking of The Exorcist, the kid who puked everywhere grew up to be a married female listener living in St. Louis who once reenacted that famous pea soup scene in a Maryland Heights family room sink after making love to a secretary of a 17-year-old kid. Thanks. That's from Gunter.
There was no sex. Stop with that.
On a distance, you could hear the cries of the husband sitting off in the corner.
I don't even think he had sex.
Well, you did, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Doug, do you count oral?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're silent. I don't have anything to say about
said
that.
what I had to say.
Okay.
Damien.
Clip that off.
One of the most impactful movies of all time, though, I think.
One of the
The
scariest
Exorcist?
one.
I think so.
Is that right, really?
I think it is. I mean, back then when it came out in the 70s, it was just, it's all anyone could talk about.
I saw it at Brentwood Theater, and I walked home and I've never been more scared in my life.
Yeah.
I was looking over my shoulder I was running home. I was so scared.
No. Probably the best horror movie of all time. That would count as a horror film, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it'd be number one.
Did the Catholic Church have anything to say after that movie? Did they?
Why are you looking at me for that? Like the spokesperson for the Vatican.
I don't know. I very rarely look at anybody when I talk. I kind of look straight ahead. So every once in a while, I just kind of look.
I don't know.
Nobody's Catholic on it. Well, you're Catholic.
I am. I was scolded for being a bougie wasp on 101 the other day, though.
I just don't remember if the Catholic Church came out with any statement after this. That this is not true. There aren't exorcisms. And
no, but there were some high-ranking people that swear it all went on at the Alexian Brothers Hospital there in South City.
Oh, where's that? Where was that? That's no longer there.
Yeah, it's no longer there.
And they get rid of it because of Satan?
I don't think so.
Probably because they're building an Arby's.
I don't know the exact address, but that's where it happened.
Pazuzu.
Yeah.
It is. See, I like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a really.
That was also a true story.
Like, I don't like the 50 that they've remade, but the OG one, like
Leatherface?
the original one, yeah, that is super creepy.
I like this line. Grandpa makes the best head cheese.
Yeah, and that whole family, like that was, you can't replicate. That was terrifying as a kid watching that.
That was 70s also. That was late 70s.
So I watched it like on a VHS when I was like 8 or 9. I'm like, jeez.
if you're the priest, how much throw up do you take before you get out of there?
Well, I'm sure some of the throw up was Hollywood stuff, but
and at that
it did deal with
he stood there and she did it like 3 times. He just kept wiping himself off and talking. Get the hell out. Wait till she's done throwing up.
Again, that was a movie.
Well, I know.
What happened in real life, probably not as graphic.
And also, isn't like the person like breaking its own arm? Like the puke is probably at that point just an afterthought.
Yeah,
you got
at least to your
you got a
worries.
person like strapped down on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're possessed by Satan, you can't twist your head around without it breaking.
No, you couldn't. Again, that would.
So you think that was made up too? That wasn't part of what happened
Probably
in the
made
Lexington
up.
Brothers Hospital?
Yes, that part probably made up.
Guys, the exorcism happened at the Berg Hall on St. Louis University's campus. It's from the 618.
I don't know. I've always heard of Alexian Brothers Hospital.
Well, we got to watch it again.
The seminarian who was a part of the exorcism was a teacher at St. Louis U High. I spoke with him my freshman year. He said much of what was portrayed was true. That's from Coxey.
Yeah.
Cox.
So the head turned around. He got thrown up on
much.
a lot. And
Not all. Much.
He got really cold.
And then I just got a text from Cal Kennedy. Doug, you know him as the John Wooden of St. Gabriel's. He says, one of the priests involved was a teacher at St. Louis U High when I was there, Father Walt Halloran. He never talked about it. I'm reading conflicting reports.
Yeah.
Who do you believe, Coxey or do you believe Cal Kennedy? Your thoughts?
Well, they could both be true.
But Cal said they never talked about it. Coxey said he talked to him.
Oh.
Let's get him on the air.
Well, there could have been more than one person involved in it.
I wouldn't talk about it.
Sure there was.
No, I would. That was part of it. I'd talk about it.
Getting puked on?
Well, I'd tell people if it happened or not. And did you ever get rid of did you ever get back to normal? In the movie, she did eventually, but did Satan ever leave the body? Did you ever say, hey, we're done here. Good job, everybody. Take 5. She's better.
I don't doubt that extreme mental illness could cause people to do some very odd things. There's no doubt about that.
Maybe Satan's body after an exorcism finds the nearest gerbil.
Oh
yeah.
I don't think so.
Linda Belair went on to many better things after that. A couple of nude scenes.
Oh.
Usually prison movies.
That doesn't sound like better things to me. She was in the biggest movie of her generation, and then really nothing after that amounted to a whole lot.
Prison porn.
A couple prison movies.
It was hard. The movie was so big, and she was such a big part of it that it was hard for her to avoid the typecast, I think.
But didn't they do Exorcist 2 that she was in?
Yeah, they did a bunch of.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like
never
a
the same.
1,000.
Never were the same.
Like I said, it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre of horror movies, to where they just kept making them and kept making them.
Mm-hmm. People love to see limbs severed by a chainsaw, apparently.
Horror movies always work.
There's 15 Halloweens, or maybe more than that.
More.
Yeah.
Like it's ending this year. I think it's Halloween The End with Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's never
Oh, this is really it?
Yeah, it says Halloween The End.
They bringing Nelkin back?
No, she did that one, and they never had her back. Jamie Lee Curtis seems to show up in all of them, though.
Oh, she's desperate for roles, though, so you got to take what you can get.
Yeah, Stacy did Year of the Witch, and that was it. That was probably one of the worst ones. Because everybody's head exploded every time you put that pumpkin mask on her. But
Was that what happened, Doug? In Year of the Witch?
Girl I went to high school with was killed in the first Halloween movie.
All right.
As an actress, yeah.
Is she the one that got naked by the lake?
Doug?
I don't think that was her, no. She got it in the barn, I think.
Oh.
Even the horror
that's always the
movies.
thing. That's always the thing. All right, let's run into the barn. Why don't we just get in that car that's running over there?
This is from St. Louis University's website. The story began a couple months before Halloran, who is the teacher that Coxie and Cal Kennedy texted in about.
Yeah.
In January of 1949, a 13-year-old Maryland boy, not the 12-year-old girl depicted in the film, started experiencing strange, troublesome episodes. Scratching sounds coming from the walls and floor of his room, the sound of water dripping, movement of a mattress and other objects. At first, his family thought he might have been plagued by the spirit of a recently deceased aunt who had introduced the boy to a Ouija board. The family consulted physicians, psychiatrists, and a minister from their Lutheran church. They grew desperate as the situation worsened. They go to the Reverend Luther Miles Schultz, a Lutheran minister who happened to be greatly interested in the paranormal, as it was called at the time, and he said, go to a Catholic priest. The Catholics know about this kind of thing. Sounds like it's something from the one on the ESPN text line. Incidentally, Schultz later spoke at a meeting of a Washington, D.C. branch of the Society for the, Doug, do you say parapsychology?
That sounds all right.
About this case. The information made its way to the press, and the published Schultz interview led to the leaking of the exorcism story by Catholic sources. This is like Northern Ireland here with the Protestants and the Catholics. Studying at Georgetown at that time, William Peter Blatty read the story in the Washington Post and years later used it as an inspiration for the film, The Exorcist. On Schultz's advice, the family went to a local priest who gave them, quote, a bottle of holy water and candles and sent them on their way. Nice.
Right. LOL.
You don't need a prescription for that.
It's like a drive-through Walgreens. Hughes later asked the Archbishop of Washington, D.C. for permission to perform an exorcism on the boy. That attempt ended when the boy broke off a piece of a spring from the mattress he was strapped to and slashed Hughes from shoulder to wrist, Allen said. The boy's mother, a St. Louis native, suggested a change of scenery. After several incidents of scratches appearing on the boy's body without apparent cause, the word Lewis emerged on his rib cage. The family took this as a confirmation. They should take the boy to St. Louis. The boy ended up staying in a house with a relative who had attended St. Louis University. One of her professors was Father Bishop, who became one of several Jesuits to participate in the exorcism and kept the day-by-day account on which Allen's book is based. Bishop talked to his friend William Bowdern, Jesuit, after both men consulted with Paul Reinert, a Jesuit, then president of St. Louis University, and the Archbishop, Joseph Ritter, namesake of Cardinal Ritter, all agreed that an exorcism would be performed according to the Roman ritual. It was something that Bowdern, who was chosen to be the lead exorcist, knew little about. The process ended up taking more than a month, during which Bowdern fasted. Several priests, Doug, do you say Alexian brothers? Alexian brothers?
Alexian brothers.
Alexian brothers. So that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
And family members participated in or witnessed the rite, which always began in the evening. The pattern was that the boy would act normally during the day, and then he would put on his pajamas and go to bed and go into a trance and start screaming and yelling and acting wild. In the morning, the boy apparently never remembered what transpired the night before. The exorcism continued on almost a nightly basis, even though the boy seemed to be getting worse. The Priest asked his family for permission to teach him about Catholicism and convert him as a way to strengthen the fight against the supposed demonic possession. As he got closer to conversion and making his first Holy Communion, his episodes became increasingly violent. On April 18th, the day after Easter Sunday, the exorcism appeared to have succeeded. An entry from the bishop's diary reads, "Since Monday at 11 p.m., there have been no indications of the presence of the devil. The boy left St. Louis days later and went on to lead an otherwise normal life. He married in 1970, had children, and never experienced anything like possession again, according to the Jesuits and Alexians,
Alexian, I think.
Alexians who kept track of him. None of the exorcism's eyewitnesses ever publicly revealed the details of the incident out of respect for the boy's privacy, but in the words of Jesuit historian and scholar John Padberg, who also participated in the university's exorcism panel with Alan last October, it's too good a story not to tell people about it." There you go.
Yeah, you wonder why they changed it to a girl in the movie. What the purpose of that was.
Let's get Linda Blair on.
So nobody knows who this kid is?
No.
Well, he's probably not alive anymore.
Probably Roger Goodell.
It could be. He moved away
Roger Goodell.
70 as a teenager.
Yeah,
That's only 50. He'd be in his
late
60s.
80s.
No, wasn't he a teenager when he left?
This was 1949 we're talking about. So say it ended in 1950, that's 72 years ago. So if he was a teenager then, he'd be mid to late 80s.
No, I thought he was a teenager when he left in 1970.
That's when he got married.
But I heard all the priest names that participated. It didn't match the ones that Coxie and the other guy talked to. That guy's name wasn't in there, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess when they moved from the Washington area, they moved in that house there by Normandy Golf Course. Must have been where the family moved.
Ah.
That's scary stuff.
Yeah.
I want no part of that.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't happen to Presbyterians.
Protestant, baby.
Yeah.
You guys don't believe in the devil?
I don't know. It's never really brought up, I don't think. I don't
Much
think.
devil talk.
Spent a lot of time with it, no?
I really don't know your religion.
It's about the same as everybody else's.
Yeah, it's similar.
I mean,
You
it's-
know, just the rituals, I guess, are a little different. Less rules, for sure, than what the Catholics have.
Oh,
Far fewer rules.
quicker services, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is the two things you want out of a religion.
Yeah,
Quick service
yeah.
and less rules.
Well, that's basically what started the Protestant movement, was the people protesting against the Pope and that whole political structure.
I'm kind of like different than most Catholics because I think Catholics are supposed to, your God is the only one God. You're the true God. Nobody, there is no other God. I just feel whatever religion, whatever God you want to pray to, if it works for you, just God love you.
Oh, sure.
And to leave me out of it. Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, how did they know how to do an exorcism? Like,
It's a Roman ritual, per that article.
okay,
Must
so
have happened at some point before, and they figured out what to try to do.
that's a pretty ballsy move on the parents' part to sign off on an exorcism.
Yeah, the holy water's the big thing.
Yeah, it has to be pretty weird, pretty unexplained for you to go to that route.
You're at your last straw,
If the
right?
medical doctors are throwing up their hands and they don't have a clue, I mean, you'd do anything to save your child, wouldn't you? It's clear it's a mental illness of some sort. So if you can tell the brain that, this is not happening to you, you're okay, and you wipe that out of your brain, that's probably how you heal them.
This is interesting. Mickey Rooney starred in Exorcist 2 where he tap danced and overacted his way to never consummating his marriage with Ava Gardner.
Yeah. Oh, he was in a bunch of movies back then.
It's in the Dogtown Astronaut. So he tap danced.
He did a lot of tapping. Yeah.
As he was throwing the holy water
Doesn't
on?
it seem like it's out of place in the picture?
He did overact, too.
God, I watched.
Terribly
I didn't know
overact.
he was in Night at the Museum either. Oh man.
It's kind of amazing sometimes, the people that
Rough.
become stars and then the people that never get a shot.
Yeah, I like to talk to the devil. There's no reason to bring the mother into it.
The mother. Which mother?
No, he said your mother can blank. And
Again, you're talking about the Hollywood script. And it's not
some of it's got to be true, doesn't
But
it?
it's not. Well, they don't even have the same sex of the person involved.
The movie, The Exorcist, is truly it's a disgusting movie. Like, it's nasty.
So none of that happened.
I wasn't there. I don't know. I just know that most Hollywood movies are exaggerated.
Well, Peter Beatty, there's no reason to bring the mother into it.
Man, if only Pocket Tube was around.
I agree.
Yeah.
49.
Could have had some real video of it.
Well, maybe.
Nowadays, it's so easy to fake video that if anyone ever got video of something like this happening to someone, no one would believe it anyway.
That's the premise of the film Nope, and you should go see Nope.
Yeah, it is really good. Yeah. I actually watched that.
I think when I interviewed Linda Blair, I think she said they used pea soup. I think that's what she told me. I can't remember.
Let's pull up the interview.
Maybe mixed with something, but she said and it was
Is the interview available, archived somewhere,
I
easily
doubt
accessible?
I did this back when I was, I think it was the 1380.
Is this the Frank Ladd?
I think this was the 1380 of the woman days. But I think she said they had to do like 4 or 5 takes, and it got so gross. But it was pea soup and something else, I think. I don't remember.
Well, how did they get the projectile?
I spent more time talking about
the nudity
savages
that she would do
and her
later.
prison scene, shower scene with a few women.
Well, it was such a powerful movie that you couldn't see her again in anything and not think of Linda Blair in The Exorcist.
Yeah. She still does some things. She does some like Comic-Con type things where she shows up and signs autographs and things.
Yeah. From that movie, not from anything else that she did.
No, the prison sex scenes.
No.
Per the New York Post, the gentleman's name was Ronald Hunkler, and he wound up actually working for NASA and played a role in the moon landing.
Really?
Passed away 2 years ago, per the New York Post.
Did he ever do any interviews talking about it?
If anything, he kind of went into hiding to try to avoid being talked to about it.
Yeah.
Per the New York Post. I mean, who knows what the hell.
And apparently he didn't remember it anyway.
Guys, the exorcism is more believable than 80s interviews. Thanks. Scissor me timbers.
What is there not to believe? I mean, I'm talking to the person. You either listen to it or you don't listen to it. What's not believable about
They would like to hear audio proof that it happened, I guess.
Yeah. Linda, how are you today? I'm doing great. I can't believe that.
Linda Blair is another example of someone who was born in St. Louis but then moved away quickly.
Yeah, she wasn't here long.
So she's not a St. Louis.
No.
Just like DeLuzio?
No, he's...
You're about to get frustrated, aren't you?
No, I've explained it. I mean, you have to have been raised here. Born and raised here. Then if you leave when you're like
But
12,
not born
13.
and raised here, just raised here.
Yeah, like Taylor Momsen. I consider her a St. Louisian.
Doug, do you consider Taylor Momsen a St.
She was raised here, went to some grade schools here, and then her parents moved out to California. But she was born and raised here for a period of time.
But do you have to be born here?
Well, I think so.
Like, I wasn't born here, but I moved here when I was like 4 years old and lived most of my life. Does that not make me a St. Louisan?
What does your birth certificate say? Kansas?
It says El Dorado, Kansas.
Well, you're not St. Louisan.
Really?
Yeah, go back.
Even though I've lived here for more than 50 years?
What if you were born in Mexico and 3 days later you moved to St. Louis? You still are not an American.
Well, it could be.
No, you couldn't be.
Yes,
you were born in Mexico.
Well, your parents.
Well, and also you're talking other countries as opposed to other states.
Yeah, there's people in the military that are born overseas, but they're still Americans.
I don't think so.
Yes, they are.
Well, military is different if you're based somewhere. But if you're living over there, if your parents are Mexican, you're born in Mexico, and you moved to the United States 3 days later, you're not an American.
Well, yes, you absolutely can become an American citizen.
You can become one.
Yeah.
Anybody can.
Okay, then.
But you're not an American. You're not born an American. You're born in Kansas. You're a Kansasanian or whatever it's called.
Kansasanian? Come on, Kansan.
Kansasan.
Yeah, Doug,
Kansan.
Did you take your St. Louis citizenship test?
You're absolutely American. If your parents were somewhere else where you were born and you come back, you may not be American born, but you're still an American citizen if your parents are.
Right, like
Well, if
Kyrie
your parents
Irving.
are, yes.
Well, how many of us living here have parents that came from Syria or Iraq or somewhere else?
Well, my grandmother lived in Syria or Lebanon. Now, if my mother would have been born in Lebanon and came over here, she wouldn't have been American. She would have become an American eventually.
If she became an American citizen, she would be an American.
Eventually, but she wouldn't. She couldn't just come over here 2 days later and say, "Yeah, I'm an American." No, you were born in Lebanon.
Yeah, you have to go through and become a citizen. But if your parents are American,
yeah, if your parents are American, but you were born in Kansas, so you're from Kansas. If you live here now, you couldn't consider yourself a St. Louisian, but you were born in Kansas.
So I've lived more than 50 years in St. Louis, and my toddler years in El Dorado, Kansas. That makes me a Kansan?
I hate to do it to you, Doug, but you're rock chalk, man.
No, I think you became a St. Louisian. But you've lived here, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you were born in St. Louis, like Kevin Nealon, I think he moved like 3 days after he was born.
So I'd be far more of a St. Louisan than him.
Yeah, he's not a St. Louisian.
Don't say Louisian. It's not St. Louisian. It's St. Louisan.
St. Louisan. He was here 3 days, so he's not a St. Louisian.
St. Louisan.
What if you were born and raised in Belleville?
No, you're from Illinois. You're a Bellevillian.
A Belvedere.
I think it's more where you're raised and where you're born.
No, to each their own.
Doug, nice try. You could take that rock chalk across state lines, bud.
Yeah, you're rooting for the Wildcats this weekend?
No.
Gabe says it's going to be raining if you're going to the game.
Oh, yeah. I think half my neighborhood's going to the game.
Is that right?
They got a bunch of kids. A couple go to Mizzou, and one goes to Kansas State. And there's like 4 or 5 people in the neighborhood driving up there.
Why don't you go with 7 hours to that place?
Yeah.
For a rainy game.
Rainy victory.
Doug, I'll be locked in.
It's really for so early in the season, it seems like a big game.
It is. I'm locked in.
And if they win, people are going to get excited.
Yes.
Hey, we might have a team this year. And if they lose, it's going to be the same old thing.
Then we'll have an Eli We Trust T-shirts, Plowhawk.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be wearing those on the planes in Auburn in 2 weeks.
I can't wait for those T-shirts. Yeah, I'll be following Tiger Board and Twitter.
You will be active tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I kind of count on that.
Yeah, I actually got lucky. Madison's not making me go to a 6-year-old birthday party, so I actually get to watch college football tomorrow.
Madison did the right thing.
So why would you be following it on Twitter? Why don't you just watch the game?
I mean, I'll probably watch a better game.
You won't watch the Mizzou game?
Well, Alabama is playing in Austin.
Well, what time's kickoff for
11 o'clock.
Alabama will win by 30. Watch the Mizzou game.
Fight, Tiger.
Yeah, I guess.
White jersey, black pants. Block M.
Nice.
I like the block
Jackson,
M.
I shipped that on
You
the
did.
little,
You nailed
little
it.
Piddle 6-shooter.
You nailed it.
People are going to think they're watching Michigan, though, with that block M.
Yep,
oh, my
it's gonna
God.
confuse
What team is
everybody.
that? Is that Michigan? Knock it off with that, Pinkle.
Yeah, I like the Tiger head better.
I like the block M.
I like both.
I like the old gold pants, not the white pants. Old gold. That's what Missouri looked like for decades and decades.
And it's Hoosier.
It isn't Hoosier.
I like
It was a great uniform.
I like the white pants, the black and white.
Yeah,
Sharp
agreed,
look.
Eggs. Very much agree with you.
Nah, go on.
Man, I'm excited about it.
You're excited for the Gurs?
Oh, I mean, just Twitter and Tiger Board.
Trolling. You're excited to troll.
You're going to troll
A potential troll. I'm not going to start the morning off, but we're going to kind of feel out that game.
You did hold off when LA Tech was up 3-0 in the first quarter.
I did.
I was expecting.
Yeah, that was a savvy move.
I was expecting going to the fan agency and like drink it up, boys.
You were one of the few that didn't jump on it. I saw great offense here.
I kind of saw Louisiana Tech and realized this is going to be their only lead of the game. You kind of had that feeling that wasn't a great team, and I'm glad I didn't tweet out.
Guys, there are only two constants in college sports: the early season optimism of Indiana basketball fans and Mizzou football fans getting absolutely crushed within the first 3 weeks. Thanks. That's from Arbor Day.
That's pretty close to the truth.
Yeah, they could probably win this game and lose to Abilene Christian.
I don't know if that's a losable game. Auburn.
Wardam's 9.5-point favorite on scoresandodds.com. How about that? The line's already out. Yeah, the line's already out for that.
Take it now.
That's probably
Take the Tigers in the 9.5?
Now, not plus 9.5. Yeah, I bet it goes down before that game kicks off.
Lousy, I think it'd be better if before the game you come out and make some outrageous statement just to get the hate stirred up before the game even starts.
Yeah.
I got to set my alarm. What's that, 10:30 a.m.?
11 o'clock, fight Tiger.
Coffee, bagels, and hot takes.
Yeah,
Right.
I may get
We get the premier game times because, people are just now settled in. After the game, they go, that's enough football for a day. Then they go out and enjoy their Saturday. That's why Mizzou wants that coveted 11 a.m. start.
Alabama, Texas should be a fun game. That's at 11.
Alabama will kill Texas.
I think so, too. But, man, how is that an 11 a.m. start? I don't get it.
Fox. Yeah, that's the Fox deal.
They got Gus Johnson on that call?
I don't know.
Usually goes Big Ten.
Ah, yeah.
Go. Fight. Yeah, 11 o'clock.
In Austin.
That's right.
Oh, that'll be a pony.
Yeah, there'll be all those people that see him get smoked.
Oh, I bet tonight is just in Austin and going to be an absolute Liddy City.
Doug, Liddy City.
Oh, what does that mean?
South Carolina, Arkansas is a game I actually will watch.
Me too.
I'll go back and forth with that and the Gurs and K-State. I don't know if this rain's a good thing, Doug. K-State's a ground team.
Well, Mizzou can be as well. Looks like they've got some pretty good running backs. And if they're using Burden as a running back, as they did several times the other night, put him in a Wildcat. Well, he could run.
Burden can just absolutely burn and shake and bake, so maybe you can try to throw a couple of deep balls by, having the corners and safety kind of get stuck up in that muddy rain and just fly by them.
ILL is hosting Virginia. It was one of my picks on Pick 6.
Virginia's not a bad.
Virginia lost a lot to the transfer portal.
Yeah,
they lost a lot to the transfer portal. That's what led me to 6-0 last week.
And Illinois is pissed. They're a decent team. That would be a good game. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost, but kind of wouldn't be surprised if they won.
I already got a loss in mine.
Would you have
teaser? I picked the wrong side. I had the Rams plus 12.
But let me tell you something. The Rams were alarmingly bad offensively. Alarmingly bad. Alarmingly bad.
They only got their 10 points by a turnover and a penalty.
And they don't have a number 1 draft pick for another, 15 years?
But I think they've won. And by that I mean they've won the whole big picture, not just they've won the Super Bowl. They got their Super Bowl. Steamer's a god. Demoff was weaved into the Rocks thing last night. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Just hard to watch.
Oh, I couldn't. I knew the pregame.
I watch it now with no emotion whatsoever. Like, the low point was them winning the Super Bowl in their own building. And last night, for whatever reason, it's like, okay, it's over.
The John Hamm thing.
For me, that was what John Hamm did an opening.
I don't get, because he's so dedicated and loved in St. Louis. Yeah. That to me is I wouldn't say heel term, but you got to think he thought about, this is not going to be a good look.
Is it possible that he's so nice that he just agreed to do it just because they asked him?
I don't know. I really could care less. I love John Hamm. I'm actually rewatching Mad Men right now, but since he does come back so often, and you got Cardinal playoff right around the corner, you would assume that he would be in town for a couple of games. It's just a weird thing to do at that time.
When I watched bits of that game last night, and they show the wide shots of the stadium inside and out, you think, one guy paid for all that.
It is beautiful.
I'm telling you, when I was there in October of 2015, they already were building it. I'm telling you, they weren't. They were in demo mode to build it. It was just done.
Yeah.
I remember standing. We went to the Carson site. There's nothing. The security guard laughs at me, going, "This is a landfill." I'm like, "Well, I'm here to see the stadium site. It's a landfill." And we went to Inglewood. I think we went to Inglewood first because Carson's a little southeast. And I'm going, this is a stadium site. This is not because it looks like it.
Yeah.
We were looking, I guess, to the north, and the Forum was on the right, still is on the right, to the east. And I looked ahead, and there's all these trucks doing all this work, like flattening land. And I'm like, they haven't voted yet, but they're clearly building a stadium.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of what we did here. We built the stadium before we had a team.
Right.
But there wasn't a team relocate. Well,
but no, because we got to get the stadium was built. Why was the stadium built? Remember,
to try to get an expansion team.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with Georgia Frontier at the time.
Yeah.
Now, when we botched that, that's when we were just bent over the table.
Mm-hmm. And
plug was already out. Plug was already out.
Yeah, we were gonna get a team somehow.
Yep. So we're going to sign whatever crappy deal we can,
right.
And that's when the top tier clause was inserted, and that's when the ground was worked to have this team leave.
Yeah. But you look at the situation out there in L.A. now, and you can easily understand how the rest of the country thinks, well, sure, this is where the Rams are supposed to. Look at that stadium. It's
100%.
Perfect. It's
100%.
Team in the second market.
It's going to host the college football playoff next year.
Yeah.
Or not next year, 5 months from now. It's going to, it hosts ridiculous concerts every other weekend.
Olympics,
yeah.
And St. Louis will never see or even be talked about as an NFL city. We will never see an NFL team here ever again.
Unless some city gets really frustrated with their stadium deal and threatens to move. A lot of them have threatened to move, and they used to threaten to move to L.A. Now, whether they threaten to move here or not, I don't know.
We're the 23rd biggest market with no nightlife downtown. There's just it's not bustling going the other way. Yeah, it's not happening. I hate this. I hate to say it, but
I don't think people
are
thinking it's going to.
Yeah.
I'm sure some are, but 90+% are not.
You never know if 25, 30 years from now the league is looking to expand a bunch more teams, and somebody here builds a new stadium somewhere in an attractive location. You never know.
All right, we got a break. Well, Viggy's Drops of the Week coming up. We have Lisa Ann at 9 o'clock. We have the Bird Early Cutlery Cuts of the Week coming up. And we have the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day coming up. It's all coming your way here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After as we close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Join the Ryan Kelly Morning After, September 22nd at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills for the night before the sold-out Lemmings Open pre-party. It's a night of TMA Live from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Join your TMA favorites as the guys host a wing-eating contest, trivia, and plenty of games. Get $16 domestic bucket specials, and don't miss their house specialty Reuben rolls. It's a free event brought to you by Mick Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. And Munganast Acura and Toyota, better than ever for you, their customer. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, it's Jackson from Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially. Saving for retirement and college while also paying bills and enjoying life along the way. Whether you're like me and starting your financial planning, or if you're already retired, call Mark Hanna. Mark works with you to design a strategy to do your finances right. It's a straightforward approach that starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs. Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC. Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalitas. TMA listeners know that Rosalitas Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled-high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalitas is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalitas has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, and let Rosalitas cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalitas.
Celebrate all your college and fantasy teams' Tully touchdowns this weekend with Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. May your team be swift and their aim be true. May the refs be forever in your favor and your whiskey always Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, smooth sipping Irish whiskey, made exactly for game day moments like this. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York. Please enjoy Tullamore Dew responsibly.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
The Classic Car Show in concert, September 25th at the Factory in Chesterfield, with performances by Jackal
Rain, I feel the heat burning through my shoes.
and Stephen Piercy from Rant. Tickets for the concert on sale now. Got a classic car you want to show off? Vehicle registration is open now. The Classic Car Show and concert, a day of fun for the family and a night of rock.
Find out how to get tickets at thefactorystl.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with Ryan Kelly online at thehomeloanexpert.com, and you've got to act fast because Ryan is always working not only in the office, but also always out there climbing mountains, raising money for charity.
I look a lot better doing loans than I look climbing mountains. There's a little behind the scenes for you. Like, at the office, I'm on my A game. I'm running around. I can coordinate. I can take applications, talk with clients, pre-approve deals, underwrite them, close them, fund them. I can do about every position within the company clearly, and it looks pretty orchestrated when I do that. But when it comes to climbing mountains, I'm a mess, man. Like, I am not pretty up there, you know? It takes a lot of guides to get me to the top of a lot of these big mountains we do, but it's not about me. I climb these mountains for kids. That's why I'm doing it. And I've gotten to know some of these families that are struggling with childhood cancer and other things, and I think about them when I'm out there in the mountains, and that's really what pushes me to the tops. these summits, these peaks, is those families, those kids. I want to encourage everybody to learn more about our incredible foundation, keepclimbingfoundation.org. That's keepclimbingfoundation.org. Visit it today.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Ashton Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
You got to be on acid to understand what's going on this show.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN TFM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Nice.
This is nice.
Anybody who's ever been to the Bubble Room in Sanibel, this is what I feel like they're playing.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No, but it does sound like the Lawrence Welk crowd would enjoy this.
Sounds like
muted trumpets.
Sounds like the song they play in Saving Private Ryan when they're all hanging out before the battle.
And they would have orgies to this.
I don't know.
Just thought I'd try. It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think music changed when the Beatles came around, and it sounds pretty much today like what it did back in the 60s. But the 40s, 50s, an entirely different sound.
God, I disagree with that statement.
Than in the 60s.
I think the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s sounded similar, relatively speaking.
No.
But now, I mean, it depends on what your impression of music is.
Well, yeah, I don't consider rap music. That's a whole separate thing. I don't consider
It's like a
graffiti
sound
art.
muffler.
But yeah, not that.
Yeah, that's to me, that's what and then beats and dance music and electronic elements of the, I mean, like, to me, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, and now I'm just going grunge here, but then if you were to go with classic rock from what, was on Keishi often from the 70s, I don't think you're going to ever hear that again, which is probably a rather obvious statement. Metal and rock kind of had their hybrid moment in the late 90s, early 2000s, essentially what 99 Woodstock was. And now my perception is more hip-hop and electronic.
Yeah, certainly hip-hop wasn't around.
Music's
yeah,
never
but I'm saying
been
that
worse.
that's the more prevalent market share of pop music.
Yeah.
You would agree with that, Jackson? Yeah, I mean, hell, we can ask you. You're 24.
Well, you find most pop songs, like if it's by a pop artist, it probably features a hip-hop artist or...
Dug a lot of collabs.
Or a hip-hop beat with like a lot of 808 drums and stuff like that. That's what really changed hip-hop music, was electronic drums.
See, in the early 2000s, there was room for all music. You had your grunge, your rock, your pop, your boy bands, your rap. And now it's two genres, and music is so bad now. I am so happy I don't listen to it.
The second part is subjective, but I agree with the first part that you really did have. I feel like the early 90s were huge for rap. And then, of course, you had grunge. Now, glamour rock, the hair bands went away. That was really grunge's response to that. Like Motley Crue just, went from killing it to being, kind of like a joke, really. But from my standpoint, I mean, listen, what the hell do I know? I'm a 45-year-old married father of two. I'm not exactly who they're looking for, but that's my impression of what it is.
Well, I just think a lot of the songs that came out in the 60s, if that same song came out today, you wouldn't think, boy, that sounds so old.
Really? Boy,
I don't think you would.
But then it depends. What are you picturing? Are you picturing like rock acts? I'm picturing
not
the big hair
scene.
lady, like Ronnie Spector, that, or the Supremes or something like that. So are you're picturing rock and roll?
I'm saying if one of the Bee Gees hits or one of the Beatles hits or one of those, Marvin Gaye, one of those guys, if they came out with a song today, you'd say, yeah, that sounds like
Marvin Gaye.
Like it could have been made today.
Our music expert has just rejoined the radio program, Ken Iggy Strode.
But if you go to the 50s and the 40s, it's an entirely different sound.
Right.
Yeah, we got bathroom problems.
But there's no music. Yeah, I saw Jody unlock it. There's no music for like young kids. Like you had your NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, you had Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, Christina, younger kids who were maybe 12. No, you don't.
Ariana Grande.
Oh, come on. That's not even
Don't
close
get
to
angry
what it
now.
is.
But this is all subjective, Plaza. Like, some kids might like some popular music right now.
Taylor Swift.
Country's huge now.
Like, I hear this
Didn't
all the
used to
time,
be.
like people saying, like, oh, music has never been worse, but that's totally subjective.
Pitbull said it the best. He said music is the international language. I mean,
Oh my gosh, Doug!
there's something
guy.
for everyone.
Edgar Allan Poe was in Maryland Heights last
I think
Saturday.
he came out and talked with some people. This man who walks on water.
All right, we got a lot of things we got to get to, and the host of the program has done a horrible job managing it. A couple things. Somebody just said, please play Tina E. I agree with that, but Jackson, is it possible for us to play that when Gabe joins us at 10:15, presented by the great James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. He's the best. He's handling a claim for me right now because, again, somebody backed into somebody's car at my home this week. Not saying who did what.
We don't know who it was.
Right. James Carlton, he's my insurance agent, carltoninsurance.net. Can we play Tina E's Missouri?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I'll talk to Ryder and make sure, but I don't see why not.
Is she the drummer?
She's the vocalist.
Well, I can tell you there's no curse words.
Missouri.
Who's the drummer?
Because I would love
Missouri.
to see the 101 ESPN text line when that thing goes off.
Wasn't she a drummer that Prince found?
That's Sheila E.
Sheila E. Okay.
Who's fine.
Yeah, she is.
Doug, she is F-O-I-N.
I believe she got naked in a movie.
Oh, brother.
All right, here is, ladies and gentlemen, Iggy's Drops of the Week.
Iggy's Drops of the Week.
I'll explain rain. I'm just
some
trying to
people like
build
something.
content, that's all.
Oh, that's a thick hog.
Yeah, I'm bringing up the rear.
Well, again, you can have this life if you want.
Wouldn't you try to cover up your butt if it was that fat?
At Ballpark Village?
Anywhere we go.
Mm-hmm. The former Ram fullback?
Yeah, I'll be out there searching for Strange.
Tim makes these incredible points.
Hey, what's your connection with Pitbull?
Ooh, la la.
Well, we're more interested in what Iggy did than sports.
The funny thing is I was at the Pitbull concert. We're in the VIP area, and I just kept looking at my phone because I had all these bets going.
That was the funny thing?
Yeah, but what we do is special.
I think we're all putting in $250, though, so somebody's going to win $1,250.
Did you know you had to put that money in, Iggy? Hello?
I didn't know how old she was.
Boy, that brought the conversation to a screaming halt.
I'm guessing Potosi. I think that's the women's prison. That's where I was going to go visit that prison pal I had.
I'm an old. I'm a borderline fat.
Cute guy, right?
Yeah, he was.
I said, Google me. That's fine.
Talk French fries, bro.
How much money you got?
Such an odd question.
Cut that out, Lousy.
Yeah, drop.
No, we're not even on air on HD2.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh, but it's hot.
The photographer's coming. Pick up your underwear.
Oh, I love the support, but I mean, who cares?
You try to make yourself look like Pitbull?
My hole was just pulsating with pleasure.
I feel you. Welcome into Pepper and Genie. Today's topic is what's in my fridge.
People should be banging down the door to sponsor that. Do you have anything else? I want to say something about me before we end the show.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week.
Good batch.
Oh, that was a nice batch.
Not a bad batch.
Now, who did that? Plow, is that you?
Yeah. I did. We still call it Aching Dress Weeks that they're open.
Yeah.
You can change it whenever you want.
I don't want to change it. I don't like it.
Oh, why don't we pour ourselves a glass of bourbon and celebrate? It was clearly a great week. There's a lot of common sense and Western wisdom, Doug. Like, you don't squat with your spurs on and always drink upstream from the fan page. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear what you can't make for yourself, or a twink doesn't know his worth until he's eye to eye with a rattlesnake holding a toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that's perfectly clear. Fistful of Bourbon's an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and as smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise, pick up a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Ported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York. Doug, can you tell the people about seeing Gray and having it make your day?
Go see Gray. It'll make your day. Talking about Gray Wilson of the fabulous Wilson family. What do they own? Well, Dents Express, of course, where they have that famous PDR. I call it PDR. You guys know it as paintless dent repair, where they can repair minor body damage with your car without having to repaint it, which is much more expensive and time-consuming. They have ways to get those minor dents and dings out of your car without having to paint it again, and your car will look just like it did when it rolled off the showroom floor. They repair minor collision damage, hail damage, and they do cosmetic wheel repair, and they got 2 locations. There's one on Manchester Road, right next to Munganest Acura out there. I mean, just an 8-iron away. And they're also out on Hughes Lane in St. Charles. Family-owned and operated business by the Wilson family. They will make your car as good as new. I took my car in there. Couldn't have been happier with the work that they did. And they do it lickety-split. It's all very quick. They've got some great people that work there. If your car is a dimpled mess, you go to Dents Express and go see Gray. It'll make your day. Their website is dentsexpressstl.com. Mention TMA, and they'll slide you a little 10% off at Dents Express.
Sound Story at mysoundstory.com. Doug had one yesterday at 10:30. I had one at noon yesterday. And you can also have a Sound Story conducted by Learn of KSHE 95 or Action Jackson. We also go on site if your family member who you'd like to have interviewed is in a retirement home, nursing home, whatever the case might be. It is mysoundstory.com. It is a perfect gift, and it's a gift or something that you purchase that you'll never regret getting, because you will always have your loved one's story in their own voice saved forever. The interviews are right here at Hubbard Radio or on site, but Hubbard Radio we have in the studio we use here, and you'll have it forever. It's an MP3 link. It's easy as can be. And the one I had yesterday, Doug,
what?
The gentleman it was a husband and wife, and the gentleman retired, I think, Plowhawk, you were in here. Did he say like at 55, I think?
Yep. He said he started
has 4
saving
kids.
a paper route, though.
What's that?
He said he started saving money at, like, doing a paper route.
And I thought, and his father was a financial advisor, broker. And so he always thought like that, and he said that was the reason why, even though he had 4 kids, he was able to retire at 55, because he always, and I thought to myself, well, Jackson, there's Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. That's what I thought to myself. Yeah. That's why you need somebody like that.
Yep, and I would assume that he wasn't saving a ton of money when he was starting that paper route, but he was getting into the act of saving, and that's what's so important. Mark Hanna will tell you that every single time, whether you're in any situation you're in, but just getting into that act of saving anytime you get any sort of money, just saving a little bit of it. Then when you start making more money, you're in a better position, you're already in that act, and you can start saving more and more money. So getting on it early and getting on it often is the key, and that's what Mark Hanna will tell you, because he is the best. He's so knowledgeable. He helps out everybody he works with. He's worked with me, with Doug, with Prod Joe, a ton of our listeners, and I think we could all say, I'll speak for them when I say that we all love working with Mark Hanna, because he's so knowledgeable. He's got great expertise, but he's also such a great guy. Like, he really, really is. So if you don't have anybody, get in touch with Mark Hanna, man. He'll get you in great shape. He'll get you straightened out. And if you already have somebody, consider making the switch over to Mark Hanna, because he's the best in the business.
314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. Coming up in 9 minutes, Lisa Ann. 2-part questions. Now that I'm in 2 fantasy leagues, I actually have some questions. I'm kind of avoiding the daily fantasy. It was just such a golf decent, but NFL was just so damn tough. And so now I'm playing the year-long game. And I like my club.
I didn't get in this year.
I like my club. So, Lisa Ann will take your 2-parters, 314-881-TMA5, 314-881-TMA5. We're in our Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. Appliance Discounters, your hometown appliance source featuring major brands like GE. And you can watch and just look how bad we look today. Ooh, we look like bad boys.
We look like trouble. And a lot of gals like the bad boy.
And the listener, I just switched over to the YouTube to see what's doing. 251 Friends of the Feather in there.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess your mic shadow is emerging again.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
You can see your nose, too, turns.
It looks like Doug's mic shadow is about to get some mouth play. That's from Tiny Pee-Pee.
Right.
Now he's bobbing back and forth on it. That's from Tiny Pee-Pee. Take it, Doug. No. That's from Walrus King.
Bring it back. I'll have some fun with it.
What are you going to do? Use your hand on it?
Should I? Yeah, it's YouTube. I can do what I want, can't I?
I mean, not really.
Okay. No, I'm not going to permit that.
What's great is
what are you doing? Using your hand on it?
I was going to, yeah.
Boy, that was really funny. Really classy.
Well, I'm a child.
If you switch over to your email, the key won't work for the single-room bathroom. So they have to have maintenance come up.
Oh,
we always
really?
have bathroom issues everywhere we go.
So who did that, you think? Was that one of us? I haven't used that restroom today.
I always leave it open when I leave. It's very simple.
Yeah, I know. I've never. It's such an easy thing, but it happens pretty regularly.
Why they just shut it behind you, and somehow you have to shut it and push the button in to lock it. I don't get that.
Some people, it might be like guests who don't ever come here, and then they don't know what they're doing with it.
I don't know how I missed some of the. David Keckner was in yesterday. He was on like 3 stations here. I never saw him.
I saw him.
Did you? I didn't see
Oh,
him.
yeah, he was all over the place. He was down at Busch Stadium.
I think they kind of hold a grudge because I was going to do a podcast with him afterwards, and they said, no, because you didn't want him on the morning show, he's not going to do
They actually said that?
Yeah, we're not going to let him.
They literally wrote, because you didn't want him on the morning show, we're not going to have him do your podcast.
That's what I was told.
Who told you?
Well, I usually go through the PR person at, what's it called?
Doug?
I don't know.
In the Galleria.
The PR person.
Helium.
Merry-go-round.
Helium.
Oh,
Macy's.
I'm surprised you got that reference, Jackson.
I usually.
That was a hotbed of Vianney students' clothing in 91.
Yes, I'll take the faded jeans.
Acid wash.
But I usually go through the PR person for Helium. But I think because the girl is from St. Louis who does his booking, she did it herself. And I was told, because I said,
The text right now.
No, I'll tell you what she
The
said.
ums aren't helping.
No, I'll tell you what she said.
The text right now.
Do you want me to read the
Doug, do you want to read it or not?
Okay.
I'll
if we can do it
Tim,
quick.
great read on the lie. That's from the 314. He's lying. What he's saying right now out of his mouth is a lie. It's from the 217.
All right, well, then I will read it.
I smell an immediate backtrack coming. That's from the hillside.
I will read it
This
then.
is the portion of the show where Ken is caught in a lie. That's from the
All right, well, get
573.
ready for the lie because I'm going to read it. I was going to go for verbatim, but
verbatim.
I'm going to read it now.
Verbatim.
I'm going to read it now
Okay.
because you want to see that I'm lying.
All right, go ahead.
This is for you, the 217.
Yeah. And Tim will get a kick out of this.
Okay, go ahead.
Because he's mentioned it.
Start reading.
I got to find her. Here it is.
What, did it come on a text or an email?
A text.
Well, then it should be right there. Okay, I see a text up. All right, start reading, please.
I said,
Read the text!
I'm finding it.
Okay.
Is Keckner available for my podcast around 10 a.m. after he's done with the interviews on 105.7 and The Arch? Checking now. Not the radio show. No, it's called Pepper and Genie.
That might have been a problem.
I said, okay, what time? I said, right after the show, around 10:15. His pub said that McKernan passed on Dave for the radio show, so they have to pass on the podcast. Sorry.
Doug, it's like eye for an eye gangster stuff. I have to tell you.
There you go. If you call me a liar.
I mean, if you're
217, you'll be issuing an apology.
It's Indianapolis, I think. Or is that Illinois?
I mean, I don't mind
Georgia.
I don't mind the move if you're
Arkansas.
Dave Chappelle or
No, 217's either.
Chris Rock.
I
Well,
think
he's
that's,
a pretty-
that's Plowsy's neck of the woods.
He's a pretty big star. He doesn't need to do every little thing that comes up.
No, he was on 3 stations. He was all over the place. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested. Honestly, it's nothing against. I mean, here. You want to hear everything? Real reason? He was pinched for a DUI like a month ago, and it's an awkward. And I think it was the second one.
Oh yeah.
And it's an awkward spot. Like not talk. I mean, I guess you just don't talk about it, which is fine. But I mean, Anchorman was 20 years ago, and
He's pretty wild and crazy on Twitter, like Keith Olbermann, left-wing crazy stuff.
I don't think I follow him on Twitter.
I don't follow him on Twitter, so I was completely
I had to
unaware of
stop.
that.
I had to stop because it got a little much.
So, and I think we'd had him on the show before. It's just, I just didn't. My honest thought was, I just didn't think it'd be very entertaining. That's what it gets down to. So, if I was wrong and cost a Pepper and Genie, then that falls solely on my shoulder.
Well, according to her,
I
it
do,
was your fault.
I do enjoy. Yeah, but it was just fine. It is because I'm the one who said
It's
no.
kind of stupid, though.
But I mean, I get it. It's that's the way the game is played. It would be weird if I said no, not on TMA, but come on my podcast or something like that. If I'm the one who's saying no, not on TMA, which obviously has a larger audience.
Well, I knew you didn't want him. That's why I said, can we do him on the
Again,
podcast?
it's not personal. I just didn't
No,
think
I
it'd be
didn't-
that
I didn't
great.
think
And I
that.
really don't like interviews on this show. I like doing interviews when I can do them one-on-one, or if you can do them one-on-one. But in this, it's awkward because you don't know who's going to jump in, and then a conversation doesn't flow. So I'm really kind of going into the weeds on my thought process on it.
It's a big loss for Pepper and Genie.
But now it cost Pepper and Genie, and Doug, boy, does that smart. But as far as the
does.
booking agent, I get the whole thing there. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Well,
If you're not
anytime.
gonna have him on the radio show, no disrespect to Pepper and Genie, or if it was my podcast, doesn't matter.
And is it possible that the booking agent didn't realize that our station is like at the same hallway?
No,
as
they
these
did
other
because
stations?
she's initially pitched it to be on the phone, and I said, "Can we have him in studio? Is that possible? Because over the phone isn't going to be." And she goes, "Are you guys still like at the strip mall in Kirkwood or something.
Well, he's probably sold out that small venue by now.
Well, I'm
anyway,
sure he has. Again, it can be. I mean, like Jim Brewer's been on, for example.
Yeah.
And hasn't he gotten into some Twitter thing recently too? I don't know. I'm not using people intentionally with Twitter and politics. Yeah. I'm just picking people. But it's when we have comedians in, and it's a group interview, I don't think it's that great of content. That's my reasoning. It's got nothing to do with David Koechner. Don't get me wrong, the DUI thing I knew, and I'm like, okay, how do we handle that? Do we just not talk? Which is fine, but I felt like, and maybe a lot of people weren't aware of it, and wouldn't have cared. But I saw Courtney in the hallway yesterday from 106.5 The Arch, and she goes, yeah, I was kind of, whatever, that's more of a private thing. But I said, how'd you handle the DUI thing? She goes, oh, yeah, we didn't bring that up. I go, okay, which makes sense. I mean, he's not coming in to talk about it, but it's become kind of a, thing. And people get pinched for DUIs. I understand. I just didn't know if we're going to be in a spot where we got to talk about it.
Pinched. If I got one, I wouldn't feel like I got pinched. I'd feel like I got busted big time. Pinched is kind of a nice, cute way to say it.
But I don't blame you, because I knew you didn't want him, and that's when I said
it's not him, though. It's not him. Like Tim Meadows, to me, is a different deal. There's a lot there, because you're talking about Saturday Night Live. He had never been on the show. And... I think, I don't know what happened. I know I had strep throat. I had strep throat when that happened. So my one sick day here this year. And I would have loved to have been on that one. But that was different because he hadn't been on. And so that was the thought process. But yeah, I get it. And then all the other shows have him on. Well, not all the other, but Riz, Courtney, and I guess he was on...
Keishi, too.
Oh, Keishi had him, too? And he was on 101, too.
Oh, really?
He was all over.
He was on every station.
He was everywhere. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Except WAL. I don't think WAL had him.
Cam actually mentioned him. Claiborne had him, too.
Yeah, of course.
But Pepper and Jeannie couldn't land it. Claiborne's a Hall of Famer.
Shut out.
Morning, guys. PR person for Mid-Rivers Mall here. Wanted to read a text verbatim I sent to one of your showrunners after he contacted me for booking info. I'll entertain your request if you can get me a seat to the Fazoli's Express in Bridgeton. We're too busy to book our own table, and my assistant said you're basically like a day laborer that finds civilians tables to swanky restaurants. That's from Gunter.
Yeah, we heard from the guy that called me a liar yet? We heard from him.
217.
Tim Koechner's hosting the Office Trivia Night at Helium. It's been a long fall. That's from Mrs. Janie Shanahan. Yeah. Well, that's not my reasoning. I just how many interviews do we have on the show? You can look at it. That's the reasoning. I think it's just not something that. But yet I love doing interviews. It's a weird dynamic. I love doing interviews. I really love doing interviews.
Well, we bring such hot takes.
Then
such massive quantity.
Of damn near, what are we on the air for? With like 5-minute commercial breaks, so what are we doing? About 165 minutes of talking.
Of takes, not talking. Of big, hot, important takes. There's not many Hollywood celebrities can come in here and match us for takes.
Yeah, they can't match the energy.
No, they can't. Or for our wisdom.
Nice. There is one guest I love, and it's Lisa Ann. But I don't really view her as a guest. I view her as a part of the show.
Yeah.
She's going to be with us here in a matter of moments as we start the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Send your two-part questions in 314-881-TMA5. I haven't seen an apology. Oh, 217 says it was a day ago.
Day ago?
I don't know. That's what his response
was. Didn't you text it in a few minutes ago?
He says he's lying. What he's saying about right now is a lie.
I just read the text.
You read it.
And then you said it was a day ago.
Well, so what? I told you why I didn't get him. And I just read you the text why I didn't get him.
Are you upset now?
No, I'm not upset. These people call me liars, and then they can't back it up, and then I prove them wrong, and they try to come up with some other excuse. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
Someone please hold Tim accountable for ruining Pepper and Jeannie. Thanks. That's from Dave in Maryland Heights.
You didn't ruin Pepper and Jeannie. I've interviewed him before. It's funny when I had him on, so I thought it'd be perfect for us.
He didn't want anything to do with the show.
I get it. I got to tell you, I actually, if anything, I really like what the PR person did.
I didn't, because when we go to do Pepper and Jeannie, it has nothing to do with our show.
But I get it. It's kind of gangster, for lack of a better term.
From their point of view, we offered you this Hollywood star.
Right.
You said no on your show, but some podcast that we haven't heard of.
Called
He's
Pepper
okay
and
for that.
Yeah, I get it. Because essentially it's the favor business. And you didn't do us a favor, so we're not going to do you a favor. And I got to tell you, I have no problem with that.
Right.
Well, that's why Plowsy and I, every once in a while, will have
I
to
respect
go back
killers.
there and have to tape an interview with a comedian I've never heard of in the chance that you're going to give us Kevin Nealon when he comes in town. So I have to
But
do
see, Kevin Nealon to me is a different interview. Like, we had Kevin Nealon in. Remember that, Doug, were you in when he was in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't that a great interview?
It
He was in for an
was,
hour.
yeah.
He just, like, I have a picture of it. I don't know if it's on inside.
I have a picture of me and him together at that interview.
And that's also wonderful. But my point is that he was casually relaxed and just like going into stories about Saturday Night Live. You know, he's told, God only knows how many times.
Yeah.
But for me, that was incredibly interesting. And I think for the audience, it was interesting because you're not going back to like, all right, tell me about Whammy, you know? And that was 20 years ago.
It plays
what do you think,
on TNA.
Jackson? What do you think? Because you're a movie aficionado.
Yeah.
I mean, this was 100% my call.
No, I mean, you're right. Like, he was a bit player on The Office, and, you know, he was an anchor man, which is hilarious and awesome, but we don't really usually do interviews on the show, and so you're right. Tim Meadows is a little different. Like, you have that Saturday Night Live element to it, especially when Tim Meadows was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
With Farley and Sandler and Dave Spade and all those
So
guys.
it's a case-by-case thing, but in general. Now, Cardinals go on a run in October. I assure you we will have Cardinal guests on this show and on Balloon Party. You know, just like when the Blues went on their run, we're not just forcing guests. God, I hate that kind of radio. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just personally what I hate. Where it's like, all right, Doug, your turn to ask a question. And then I'll ask a question that had nothing to do with your question, so we're really not having a conversation.
Or sometimes when the other guy's asking a question, we go into our phone and we read something else, and then we come back and we ask the same question that got asked 2 minutes ago.
That's 100% accurate. That happens about 50% of the time. But like with Gabe and Lisa Ann and Wellington and Nagel, we know those people. And so it's like somebody who's a friend is dropping by, because ours is the kind of show where friends feel like they can...
right.
Drop
by at any time.
Right, exactly. Yeah. One of our friends is dropping by. Lisa Ann is going to be with us in a matter of moments. Then we have the Bird Early Cutlery Cuts of the week and the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. I am going to tweet a formal apology to Pepper and Jeannie from a burner account. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour next. If you are a commercial property manager, property owner, small business owner, or are involved in operations, listen up. Engineer Design Facilities has become the #1 commercial fire alarm service provider in the market. EDF's goal is to not increase your operating budget, but rather decrease it, and at the same time service your business's commercial fire alarm needs with the most experienced and competent technicians this region has to offer. Make sure your building is up to code. Email fire@edf-rg.com to schedule your systems evaluation today. That's fire@edf-rg.com.
Join the Ryan Kelly Morning After, September 22nd at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills for the night before the sold-out Lemmings Open Pre-Party. It's a night of TMA Live from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Join your TMA favorites as the guys host a wing-eating contest, trivia, and plenty of games. Get $16 domestic bucket specials, and don't miss their house specialty Reuben rolls. It's a free event brought to you by Mick Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. And Munganast Acura and Toyota, better than ever for you, their customer.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan for Design Air Heating and Cooling. I am a very happy client. Design Air Heating and Cooling and Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff, which you can find online at designairservice.com. Just go to the website, click on the Book Now tab, and any issues you may be having with your HVAC system, they will take care of immediately. The customer service second to none. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com. Man, Ryan, the home buying market is competitive as all get out right now.
You need every leg up you can get. You need every advantage you can get, and that's what we give you at the HomeLoanExpert.com. We have a 10-day closing guarantee. That's right, 10 days. If that doesn't make your offer stand out, not sure what will. We also have lower rates, over a quarter point lower than the national average. We don't just talk about low rates, we have them. And at the HomeLoanExpert.com, we have programs for almost anybody. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? The HomeLoanExpert.com.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
The Classic Car Show and Concert, September 25th at the Factory in Chesterfield, with performances by Jackal
Rain, I feel the heat burning through my shoes.
and Stephen Piercy from Rant. Tickets for the concert on sale now. Got a classic car you want to show off? Vehicle registration is open now. The Classic Car Show and Concert, a day of fun for the family and a night of rock.
Find out how to get tickets at thefactorystl.com.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at tmastl.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience. Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Studio, I knew I was going to be running late.
Oh, well.
How late am I?
We just
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, with somebody locking the one bathroom that we usually use, I went down the hallway, which is, at least a good 30 yards, and just too much for me. Just too much. Lisa Ann's with us, and I'm late. And I apologize because she's the greatest ever. Hi, Lisa Ann. I'm sorry. This is all on me.
Well, I was singing. But...
Yeah, well, because we're late,
say to
you're going to have to.
everyone-
Some things are going to hit the cutting room floor here today.
We'll just bring it in with this. Better late than pregnant.
Like, Jackson announced he was carrying a guy's baby on 101 ESPN the other day.
He is?
Yeah, that didn't.
Oh.
Greg.
I'm
Greg
living my
was the-
truth.
So I didn't get any singing from Iggy, and I
Yeah.
really expected it to be Pitbull because this concert happened, and I want to know, was there a interaction? Iggy, did you get to meet your hero known as Pitbull?
I did not get to meet him.
I'm super sorry.
He couldn't find a date to go with him either.
I took my neighbor, dude.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you try to plan this ahead? There's no listener out there that wanted to go with you?
No, a couple of them said no.
He had his
Is
feelings
it-
hurt.
I don't think it's you as much as maybe not everybody our age is into Pitbull.
Yeah, I asked 3 girls that I knew, not listeners, 3 girls that I knew, and 2 said, "Who's Pitbull?" So it's
Just say that is a possibility. That is.
Lisa Ann, if you met Pitbull, I got it at 40% you've met him.
No, I have not.
No.
No, I asked Lisa if
No.
she had a contact.
You remember she texted me out of nowhere and asked me this.
It had to be nice. I'm working on 50 things, but hey, here's Iggy asking for
Hey,
a
by the way,
contact.
what's your relationship with Pitbull? Is exactly what the text said. I was like, wait, did something happen that I'm not aware of?
No, I think I said. I think I asked.
What an odd-ass text again.
I think I asked, "Do you have a relationship with Pitbull?"
Is that much different, Iggy?
Well, yeah, not have you. Or,
And you were hoping for tickets in the front row or something?
No,
Backstage
you wanted to meet
pass?
backstage.
I wanted to get backstage, and if Lisa had met him,
Here's
at
the
a party or
exact
something-
text. It says, "Hey, kiddo, do you have any connections to Pitbull or his people?" ? I write back, "No." He writes, "Okay, thank you." I wrote, "What are you trying to do?" He writes, "I'm going to his show on Saturday night, and meeting him is on my bucket list." And I wrote, "Ha ha 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 ha." And then he wrote, "Yeah, everyone laughs when they hear that."
They did when I said anything. I think he's the coolest guy
Of all of the weird crap on this show, Iggy's love for Pitbull is on the Mount Rushmore.
You know, when I think of Pitbull, you think of that like one-hit wonder that plays as like a lead-in song to some ad. You don't really think of an entire concert, a compilation of all of those one-hit wonders. But hey, he's been doing it for quite some time, and I guess he's still popular. Iggy paid for a ticket and had to take his neighbor.
No, we don't pay for anything around here. It's not free. We don't go.
Well, he sold out 20,000 plus.
Yeah, people are really itching for stuff to do, I guess. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what Doug's theory on St. Louis entertainment is.
Yeah,
He's been
that's what
really
it is, I
working
think.
that lately.
We got nothing else.
Cardinals are out of town.
What do
What
we
else are we going to
have?
do?
Yeah.
All right, text in your two-parters for Lisa Ann, 314-881-TMA5. I look forward to the two-parters. Send them in. The season is now underway with the Rammies and Bills. Lisa Ann, I was alarmed by how bad the Rams' offense looked last night. What do you think? Doug, I was alarmed by how...
Hello, Lisa.
Has anybody seen my nurse?
Lisa.
Has anybody seen my nurse? Doug, my nurse.
Jackson cut her off.
Jackson, you cut her off?
How could I cut her off?
I
I'm
don't
back
know.
here.
The shears.
What shears?
Been Boyd around here?
Yep.
I mean,
Maybe she
Try potting her back up, Plazzy.
it's potted up.
Yeah, reboot.
I'm back.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know what happened, but I jumped out and I jumped back in. Well, life-saving situation here. Whoa, that was scary. I wouldn't be able to live my weekend without these two-part questions.
Yes. Did you hear my question asking about the what you thought of the Rams' offense last night? I was startled by how bad it looked.
I was startled by. I loved watching. Von Miller just sack Stafford because you play with a teammate and you get to know their weaknesses. So of course he was going to take advantage of that and also prepare the line for the monster amount of sacks. Josh Allen looks so good. All day I'm just going to say my condolences to anyone in a fantasy matchup that faced the combo of either Josh Allen and Cooper Kupp or Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I skated the bullet. I didn't face Josh Allen, but in one league, I faced Diggs and Cooper Kupp, and my opponent has 58 points already. I'm heartbroken. I can't even look at that team right now. It's horrible.
No. Well,
And I also played Dawson Knox, thinking like narrative. He recently lost his brother. I thought Josh Allen make it rain in the end zone for Dawson. Dawson Knox was nowhere to be found. And Tyler Higbee, does he have butterfingers for this season? Because man, both of those balls went right to the numbers. He didn't catch either, and he stood there looking befuddled. I'm like, yo, bro. Like, that's your job. What are you doing? So it was a little stressful.
Yeah, I guess the missing portion of the OBJ element might be a factor this year. Allen Robinson did nothing last night. One catch, I think.
Yeah, I didn't expect much out of Robinson. I just didn't see that connection really working out. And you're right. Now, OBJ just needs to go through probably a final physical. It's going to start talking to teams. Maybe the Rams will bring him back. It was great to see him there dancing with their trophy last night, the Super Bowl rings, all of that. But you're right. It's a missing link. And Cooper Kupp getting this much work we can't see this by week 10, right? We cannot see him getting this much work. He is just elusive. He's good. Gabe Davis was surprising for the Buffalo Bills. And I think, we're looking at these teams now totally differently, right? We're looking at the Rams, but it's one game. And it was incredibly hot, which I thought Buffalo would have a tougher time adjusting to than Los Angeles. Those players were sweating before the game even started.
Yeah, it was hotter than hell. That thing's an indoor stadium, but the windows are outdoor.
And the way they face. With the
and they face the west. You're right. All right, the Illsider has the first question this week. Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. Hey, Lisa, two-parter for you. Who's big for you? And I run a podcast where I break down popular shows. During this 5-minute podcast, I present very little facts and barely know the characters' names. Any advice to help me blow up like a twink I know in Miami? That's from the Illsider. Boy, this Illsider, Iggy.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Pepper and Genie.
I do believe that he should have stopped at Pepper and Genie and then went over to Iggy's house to go to the Pitbull concert, and then he would have automatically blown up because he would have been all up on the gram. So, I mean, if you want clout, you got to chase Iggy.
Hey, Lisa and J.K. Dobbins, Devontae Smith, or Tyler Boyd in the flex spot. And secondly, any advice for someone who takes a 4-hour nap during the middle of the day yet still can't make it back on time for breaks? Seems like his shoulder Seems like he should be rested. That's from Steve Klein's Dirty Hat.
That was something else that happened to Iggy.
I'm assuming. Believe me, I kind of can read between the lines with
Okay.
these questions.
All right, just want to
And,
be sure.
I figured it was Iggy. And, good for you, Iggy, that you're able to take such solid naps. I give you kudos for that. But you might want to kind of fake yourself out and set the alarm clock for actually earlier and set multiple. Like, I'll set 4 alarms on my phone. So one is going off every 10 minutes to make sure that I get up. I'm going to go Devontae Smith. I like this matchup for Philadelphia. I'm really excited to see what this team does this year, and I think Smith is going to get a lot of action on Sunday.
Let's see what we got here. Hey, Lisa Ann, 2-part question here. Will the Raiders ever give Jamarcus Russell another shot? And my wife's boyfriend, Steven, loves to make me stimulate his pud early while my wife pegs me. Is this what most married people do? Because I love it. Doug, that's from Sean Mahoney's Dead Eye.
He hadn't been the same since he lost control of that one eye.
Pud. We
Listen.
used that in grade school when I was that age.
The fact that he loves it is an indicator that I think more marriages would probably be getting less divorces if they were all doing this. So normal is just a setting on the dryer, that little setting that says normal. That's it. That's the only place in this world we're getting normal. As for the Raiders, no, they're never giving Russell another chance.
Let's see what we got here. Boy, they are really coming in fast and furious. Hey, Lisa, if the Patriots lose a few to start the season, is Belichick going to get fired for Elia? Also, my boyfriend Doug has taken a liking to a twink named Talty and has been ignoring me. Should I light myself on fire near expensive audio equipment to get Doug's attention? That's from Al, and he's in Dadeville.
I don't think the lighting yourself on fire near the equipment is the greatest idea, but getting Doug's attention is really tricky, right? He's a mystery man.
He's a debonair man.
He is a debonair man. We know that he loves his Dockers. We know that the city there loves him and his Dockers.
Yeah.
So I would just stay true to the cause. Sometimes, the pursuit takes a little bit longer. Think about all those high-speed chases in Los Angeles. They don't expect them to last 2 hours. So your 2 hours for that chase is maybe 2-3 more months of you working over. Belichick is never going to get fired. Are you kidding me? And I don't think the Patriots are going to start out as slow as everybody thinks they are. I think Mac Jones is going to have a much better kind of grasp on the offense this season. They went to Miami 5 days early to adjust to the climate. I mean, come on. This is going to be a big season, but Belichick's not going to get fired, and he has no worries.
Do you know who Elia is, by the way?
No.
Okay. How can you believe it? He's the head coach of the University of Missouri football team.
Elia Drinkwitz.
Yeah.
He's pretty hyped up for being a pretty below-average X's and O's.
Oh, Doug, not again.
Stop it.
He's one of those that can recruit, but he recruits 4 stars and coaches them like 2 stars.
Quit it.
So anyway, he's
I
like,
love when Plowboy drops the knowledge.
Get that off.
I don't even know if that's actual knowledge. It's probably not fact.
They had a big signing yesterday. They got a 4-star.
They did.
Gabe with me in an hour on 101 ESPN, by the way. We'll talk about it. Lisa, and after last night's game, should I worry about Josh Allen getting injured running the ball 10 times a game? Second part, let's say a guy was going to bang Doug real nicely. I guess that's actually me calling my shot like Babe Ruth. Not really a question. Doug, that's from Injun Joe's Cave Ride Magic.
Knock it off.
What you're doing right there by calling your shot is actually manifesting the life that you want to be living. So I admire that. I'm a big believer in manifesting
admire
your
that.
own reality. And if you're going to worry about Josh Allen, just stop. Just let it happen. You can't worry about it before it happens. I mean, he's a spry young man. I don't really think that's a concern. And if he does, you'll figure that out when it gets to it. The most important point is you just having a great time with Doug.
Knock it off with that.
Hey, Lisa, and 2-part question. Would you start Tom Brady or Kirk Cousins? Also, as a woman, do you find it sexy when a 60-something yes, sir, old man asks you to his place for a smoke and a breezeway and some pie crust? It's an after-dinner dessert. That's from Bulldog Bob Brown.
And Bulldog Bob Brown is also talking about Iggy. Am I correct?
I think that's a good read.
Yeah, I made pie crust like 12 years ago, and it's just they
But
stick
there was
with
nothing
something.
in it. It was just a crust.
This is my follow-up question, Doug. Thank you for answering. Was there filling or was it just the pie crust?
No, it was just the pie
I
crust.
had nothing in my freezer, ice cream, nothing, and I had a pie crust, and I said, just like a cake. I'm going to eat the crust.
And did you put butter and cinnamon or honey or brown sugar or anything?
I did put some brown sugar on there,
Okay,
and I had a glass of milk.
And this was after smoking cigs in the breezeway.
No, that didn't happen. That was like 12 years ago. So.
Okay, so this is odd, but you know what? When you next time you pick up the pie crust, I would also try to, at the same shopping experience, pick up filler, whether it's pumpkin pie, whatever it may be, that you have on hand, so that you can make the matching thing. I'm going to start Tom Brady this week. Yes, they will be playing in Jerry's world, but we know Tampa's defense is really good against the run, which is going to hurt Dallas' run game, making Dak have to throw the ball. High-scoring game going there, and Tom Brady will fight back. So I'm going to play Tom Brady over Kirk Cousins this week.
Let's see. Here's another Brady-ish question. Hey, girl. Don't you like that? When somebody says, hey, girl?
She's probably interested now
Hey,
that
girl.
you said that.
Big Al? Big Al on the park bench?
I have both Dak and Brady on my team along with the Cowboys D. Which QB do I play? Also, would you be willing to help me get into Doug's undershorts at the Dotem? Boy, Doug, these guys are very randy today.
I know.
That's from the Concord Caulk.
It's been a long summer.
You know, I don't really know about the Dotem undershorts because I don't know if he's wearing like the tighty whities, the boxers, the
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs. Okay, that's a good lead. So that gives me some food for thought there. Brady or Dak in the Cowboys defense. So I'm benching the Cowboys defense this week only because I don't like the matchup up against Tampa. But if I have the choice right here, it's so painful to say. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, so you can divide it down the middle. I'm more confident with Brady and the options that he has than seeing what Dallas is going to pull together without Amari Cooper and Austin and Michael Gallup.
Are you worried about that offensive line at all?
Which, Tampa's?
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, but I'm also worried about Dallas.
Yeah, I was about to say Dallas has an issue, too.
Yeah.
Greetings, Lisa. Would you start Pollard or Elliott? And also, what's the best way to prepare for a nice pegging? That's from Kakeem Olajuwon.
Fun question.
This is a fun.
It isn't.
Jackson.
There
This
Joe
is a
Burrow
fun
swagger.
question. Joe Burrow swagger. Because, the most important way to prepare for a good pegging is not to overeat that day. You don't want to have any situations. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Well, some of our listeners like that on their chest, though.
On their chest.
Okay. So if that's what you're
Clip that
into,
off.
I would definitely make that decision beforehand. How, where do you want this to go is really the question. And then you would stick with more basic foods. Okay. And as for Pollard or Elliott, I'm going to be playing Pollard this week. They've been practicing Pollard out of the slot. They've been playing him out of the slot. He was a wide receiver in college. I think Zeke is going to be stopped up a bit with the run defense for Tampa being so strong. So I'm going to play Pollard there. It's not a fun decision to make. And what kind of moron drafts both Pollard and Zeke on their team?
Yeah, that's a fair question.
But then again,
no
brilliant
name calling.
person with the pegging. So
Yeah.
I really bounced out.
Wow, I don't know what this is. I don't think I can read
Are you scared?
it.
Probably don't.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the FCC. That's what I'm thinking as I go on the.
Pass. Just pass. Whatever in doubt, just pass.
Amen. Hey, Lisa Ann. Alan Lazard or Brandon Cooks this week. Secondly, would you prefer watching The King of Dragons and doing butt stuff with your buddy, the Linkster, over watching Sunday Night Football? That's from the Buzz-Off Bird. Doug, what did I just read?
Lousy questions.
One of the worst questions ever.
Lousy questions.
Worst questions ever, because obviously nothing would ever come between me and Sunday Night Football, because I can do those other things any day or time of the week. Now, you're going to have to watch Alan Lazard. He's still questionable at this point, which concerns me. If we get a last minute, how confident do you feel? I love Brandon Cooks this week. I think Brandon Cooks this season is just a dead sleeper, right? Nobody's really excited about the Houston offense, but they'll be playing from behind pretty much every game.
Yeah.
They'll be slinging it. Brandon Cooks plays 14 to 16 games a season, always finishes for over 1,000 yards. That's a solid play right there. I love Lazard as well, but I want to see him healthy before I trust him.
Let's see what else. We got a million of them. I'm trying to go through them. Let's see. Is Aaron Rodgers lost in the ayahuasca? And if so, can I slip it in Doug's?
No.
You don't want to slip somebody ayahuasca. That's not a trip you want to. That's not a journey you want to take someone on unknowing. There's other things that you would use for something like that, right? But look, Aaron Rodgers just announced last week that he's going to be back on McAfee every Tuesday. I love Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays. He does a book club. I'll be reading a book a week along with this book club. I love the ayahuasca journey and everything he's about. He's so chill. He said something really profound the other day. He said, There's a reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Because we're supposed
dog.
to listen more. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this man so much.
It sounds like you have a little crush.
Not a crush. I just love that I've gotten to know him from now 2 seasons. This will be the 3rd that he's come on McAfee's show every Tuesday, and I listen to that show 5 days a week. And you just got to know him more. We hear what broadcasters say about a player. We see what a player puts out there on a field, and then maybe a quick 5 to 10 minute interview post or pre-game. We don't really get to know what their life is like. And this has really pulled you into him trying to really learn more about life and evolve as a human being. His life is different off the field because though he's always honing his craft as a quarterback, he's also trying to be more mindful and thoughtful and open-minded and understanding. And so I just like where his head is at.
Hey, Lisa Ann, just like my stepdad, Jack stretching out my elastic hole beyond repair. I screwed up and didn't solidify my wide receiver core. Need some trade bait, and I am running back heavy. Do you like Eli Mitchell or Etienne more as RB2 for my season long? Also, any suggestions for a way to get my birthday hole back to its original tight form? Doug, that's from Mrs. Janny Shanahan.
Talk about your birthday hole.
I think really important is probably to see someone about that whole situation. I mean, with plastic surgeons, they can do pretty much anything. We've seen some things go down in the industry that were pretty destructive back there.
Oh, is that right?
And
Really?
yet that person has been able to have surgery and fix that. You do want that
Really?
thing to be tighter.
Was this somebody I would know?
Quite a few people.
Really? Doug, did you know that?
I didn't know. That's one thing I didn't know.
Yeah, quite a few people. And as for your RB2, I would stick with Etienne unless you have a league mate that's really high on the Jacksonville offense and you can get a good trade going. But these are 2 very similar problems, a wide out and a wide hole.
I would guess.
Oh, no!
I would guess
Clip
Vanessa.
that.
I would guess Vanessa Del Rio would be one.
Nope, not
Really?
Vanessa Del. They weren't doing as aggressive those types of scenes. I'm thinking of the FCC as well. They weren't doing as aggressive those types of scenes back then. It was more the more current performers.
Oh, wow. Iggy. Did you go through a
Like
Rolodex?
Bonnie Rotten is a good example.
Oh, really? Bonnie Rotten, huh?
Yeah, she's.
What do you think of the spider web tattoos on the breasts? Not my thing.
It's unique. Yeah, it's unique. It's definitely unique when it's not Halloween, right?
Right. Yeah, it's fun in October, but then December rolls around.
It'd be a great henna tattoo. You have it for like 3 weeks, and
I responded to her yesterday. She put up a picture.
You're communicating with Bonnie Rotten.
Of course he is.
Well, she put up a picture. She said, I'm already decorating for Halloween, and as in the background, there's a couple of motorcycles and a huge pistol.
Yeah, she's a big gun rage
Yeah,
shooter
she
now.
is.
Yeah,
And I said, I didn't think motorcycles and handguns really equated Halloween, but
well,
more power to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Did she respond?
I don't know.
No.
Great follow-up question.
Yeah, because it made it sound like it was a conversation, yet everyone knew it wasn't.
It made it sound like we were talking yesterday. So I was talking to Bonnie Rotten yesterday.
Lisa Ann, should I start Mark Bulger or Aaron Rodgers at quarterback? And also, how do I handle the jealousy I feel towards my brother's girlfriend for getting to date him? He's such a catch with a strong, chiseled jaw. Brother likey.
Oh,
That's
come
from
on.
Dogtown S.
Come on now.
Okay, this is great. Okay, because obviously he realizes that he's never going to get a girlfriend like that, and he has a super crush on his brother. I would say step away, maybe make some other friends outside of the family unit, so this isn't a problem at the holidays. And of course, you're starting Aaron Rodgers, not even a football question.
Hey, Lisa Ann, I got offered a trade DeAndre Swift for Leonard Fournette, and do you prefer a fit bod or a dad bod? That's from the Gerber baby.
I am definitely going to go with a fit bod only because the dad bob makes the unit look smaller.
Interesting.
And it also makes every woman feel older because once you start accepting the dad bob,
Wow,
you're in a space where you're like, look, you guys, you have to understand, I still have access to all the best 21, 22, 23-year-old athletes. So when I'm used to that, I could see a dad bob and me be like, oh my gosh, is my sex life over? Is this what I'm accepting
Yeah,
now?
that's got to be like just some like cellulite-ridden, hairy body. Wouldn't that just be
and they're
awful?
usually pasty white too with a farmer's tan, right? They're usually all of the above. And as for Swift for Fournette, I'd make that trade in a second. I'd take Fournette right now. Get rid of DeAndre Swift.
Oh wow!
Isn't dad bod just a nice way of saying, "Hey, I let myself go. I'm overweight, but I have a cute dad bod." It's just a nice word on a lousy body, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like muffin tops. There was a time where like there was a thing about muffin tops. Doug, do you know what that is? The muffin top?
Not really.
Go to a Cardinal game next homestand.
It's when girls wear
getting a
jeans
helmet
that they
nacho.
probably shouldn't, with like a short shirt that they probably shouldn't, because those should be saved for women with like abs or no. And there's this area that hangs over. It's like the muffin tops from Seinfeld. Remember when Elaine, they were eating all the tops off? Well, that's what it ends up looking like. And like that was a thing for a minute. And I'm like, why are we making this a thing? That should not be a thing. But so yeah.
Kind of like a can of busted biscuits.
Oh.
Yes, it's like a can of busted biscuits. Wow, that's another great way to put it. Boom.
Final one here, just for future heads up. This is Scott's wrinkled ballsack. He's attempting, I think, to solicit Lisa Ann for next year. Just for future heads up, my wife makes the best cherry pies and cream pies. Maybe for next year's Dotem, she can prepare one for Lisa Ann. Thanks. P.S. We all know Adriana Chechik will be in line for a whole rejuvenation surgery in the near future. That's from Scott's wrinkled ballsack, and I guess he's propositioning.
Scott's very timely with this message as he's paying close attention to the show. We appreciate that in Radio Land. Now, will your wife be bringing the cherry pie or the cream pie is my question to the Dotem. I did name one of my teams. I have Kareem Hunt, so I named the team Kareem Pie.
Nice. I won in that league. How many teams do you have?
So I cut it back this year. I drafted about 24 teams, and I kept 10. I gave 12 teams away to friends of mine that I'm going to co-commission with them just to get them into fantasy football and, avoid them the stress of, drafting and being panicked about that.
I have 2 teams this year, and I'm like, what's it going to be like when I have one guy on one team and one guy on another team? How do you handle that?
It's very upsetting. You're playing against each other a lot. It hurts because you're like, oh, I really want Stephon Diggs to do well. And it's like, oh, I really don't want Stephon. But for me, I look at it as this is just homework. This makes it better for when I visit your show and the other shows that I do. The more teams I manage, the more players I'm really paying attention to. And by the way, I really wanted to name the team Kareem on my Chubb, but I didn't get Nick Chubb, so I felt like I couldn't do it.
God, I feel like I left one out there. Lisa Ann, it's always wonderful to talk to you. Great work by the audience in the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. What's on the itinerary for the weekend?
Well, Sunday, I kick off my very first of the season YouTube Lives, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I will be chatting it up with the folks, going through a full weather report, a breakdown of injuries, helping with start, sits, and all other things NFL related. Once that is over at noon, I will do absolutely nothing except sit in front of my TV with a notepad, writing notes on injuries and things of that nature. But I like to just be in my own space. I don't like to have company. I don't like to be around other people. I'll have multiple computers going. I'll be tweeting with people that I spoke to in the YouTube Live. But I'm really excited for a whole day of nothingness. I can't wait.
Can I ask, this is from the listeners, not from me. But the listeners I keep getting DMs. When is your podcast with Lisa Ann coming up? And I said, I don't know. It'll be up when it gets out.
Oh, yeah. I'm interested in that, too.
You will be not this upcoming week, but the following week. So you will be up in 2 weeks, Ziggy, because remember, I did a record tear so that I would be ahead for football season.
I said it'll be up when it's up, and I'll ask Lisa Ann.
How's the Maitland Ward interview coming?
Yeah, we talked about that in the 7 o'clock hour. I'm asking Iggy how he's going to make it different from yours, and Holly Randall had her on.
Yeah.
How's Iggy going to make it his own?
Well, it's Iggy. Listen, Iggy doesn't have to do much to make it different. He's Iggy.
He's coming out right out of the gate, he said, Lisa Ann, asking about the relationship with Caden.
Ooh, I would, you know what? I would warm a guest up
Yeah, that's
first.
what we said. We were trying to counsel him on that.
Yeah, I would warm her up, and maybe you bring it to her. Maybe you think of tennis, okay? Just hit that ball over there.
I'll give her some lobs, and then
Why don't you lob it over as if, hey, who have you met that you've really connected with in the industry that you really have found a friendship with?
Yeah. Has that friendship led to the touching of soft skin?
Yeah, I think it's the 19th, I think, Lisa Ann.
I'm very excited for you, Iggy.
Nice.
Get a good night's sleep and set multiple alarms. Don't take a nap and wake up late.
No.
She'll be on time, and she's a stunner to look at.
Yeah, she is.
Great
she has
eyes.
Beautiful breasts, too.
Oh, well, Okay. All right.
Clip that off. Thanks, Lisa.
Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the games this weekend. I'll talk to you next Friday.
Have a wonderful weekend. There she is, the best going, Lisa Ann, with us here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Boy, that Scott's wrinkled ball sex trying to make it happen, isn't he?
He is.
He had a chance to be in the last dating game. Where were you?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know.
They were there, too.
They were and didn't even participate. I even said, do you want in this thing? No, we're just watching. Okay, well.
Maybe that's their game. They like to watch.
Some
people like some things, Doug.
And some people don't like others.
Ah, yes.
I even offered them a VIP pass to get, because they were way in the back of the room. And I said, here, you guys can come up here. She said, oh, we're fine back there. I said, okay, here, free drinks here. So they kind of just wanted to be in the back. And
I think they're worth Mr. Nipples.
Yeah, probably.
Doug, Tommy Cibulka, he's the best. He really is.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Commercial van and truck upfitting, that's what they do. And here's the deal. VIP Auto Accessories is your one-stop shop. So everything from point A to point Z, full-service shop for all your auto accessory needs. They do van and truck upfitting for commercial fleet vehicles, provide graphic solutions for vehicles, retail office space, floors, windows, and more, and have a full array of public safety solutions, including for EMS and police fleets. VIP is now a full-service operation providing top quality and the ability to get it done now. VIP's one-stop shop will save you time and hassle. Go to VIPAutoAccessories.com or call Tommy Cibulka at 314-428-3900 or email him at tommy.cibulka@VIPAutoAccessories.com. That's VIPAutoAccessories.com. I'm sure a lot of people are watching us on YouTube and going, man, how can we look like these guys?
Get in the gym, folks. Get in the gym is all I can tell you.
Shop at Macy's.
And check out Mentality today at lowtusa.com. Go to lowtusa.com. I went out there, got checked out. Super easy, incredibly friendly staff. And it's FDA-approved testosterone treatment. Board-certified physicians who work with most insurance. If you're dealing with low energy, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, you're feeling tired all the time, feeling anxious, moody, irritable, impatient, dealing with anxiety, those are symptoms of low testosterone. Get it treated at Mentality by going to lowtusa.com. The normal range for testosterone is large. If you've been to a doctor and they told you that you were normal without understanding the range of or testing your free testosterone, it wasn't fully looked at. Come get checked with Mentality. Go to lowtusa.com. We are 7 minutes away from the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Now it's time for the Bertarelli Cutlery Cuts of the week.
Okay.
Cuts of the week are brought to you by Bertarelli Cutlery. Visit them on the Hill or online at bertarellico.com. Cut 1.
What is going on with your DMs? I might be willing to pay you to have access to your DMs.
Why they would ask me for concert tickets, and I said, I'll see what I can do. And then you vote, I want them off the show. I don't get it.
I would delete Facebook Messenger if I was you.
That's usually what they are, the DMs.
They're sliding into your DMs.
Asking for concert tickets, but they voted to have you off the program.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And also,
the whole thing, like there's 3 different layers of unbelievability.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know. Iggy's DMs are a different beast, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, I think because I've said on the show that I answer all my DMs. Now they do it just to see if I'll answer.
That'd be a pretty good
I sent
segment.
you a DM, you didn't answer me.
Holly Hills Hustler says that poll never happened on the fan page.
Well, go look again.
Doug, go look again.
I'm not gonna look.
It was either get Iggy off the show, do you want Iggy to shut up on the show, something like that.
Yeah, there was that. There was a thread.
I made another one up. I made up another thing on the fan page.
It might be a decent segment on Pepper and Jeannie for you to just read your DMs. Iggy reads his DMs.
Well, I don't because they're DMs for a reason. They're kind of private.
Look, you're fun.
They're kind of private. So.
Straight.
Cut 2.
This is just a one-parter. Does it matter if it dribbles out or if the guy can shoot a laser across the room? Doug, what does that mean? Is that
it's a military question, I guess.
You know, it doesn't matter, but it does lead to less impact for the ladies. You know, we want to know there's some force behind that. The dribble seems like it's just trying to do it to get it over with.
Really? Is that right?
Really is like, I was really holding back, and now this is amazing. Yes, that is correct.
Boy, let me tell you something. That Peter North, he sure could fire shots, couldn't he?
God, you need a face shield for that.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable.
Across the room, cameramen hit. You know what I mean? Everybody was hit. Yes.
I was watching a scene, and I think, Doug, you were watching. I was watching a scene with Chasey Lane, who
how beautiful she was.
Oh my goodness! And there were 2 gentlemen involved in what is described by producer Joe as the more popular MMF. and you see the gentleman reach the point that all of the parties wanted to reach, and then off to the side, like a third gunman comes in, and there's just like a third shot coming in from
What are you watching?
Nice JFK tapes.
Dealey Plaza.
I'm telling you, I wish I had a gif of it for you, Lisa. I had to break down who was on set, was pleasuring himself, and just decided to shoot one in.
So there was a time we called that an extra pop. And so as an agent, I would book extra pop
Can we get an
scenes.
extra pop
And the
T-shirt?
guys knew that they weren't going to be in the actual scene, but that they were going to be relied on for the pop.
Cut
3. I have an extra ticket, and I said, now, I'm sure you're probably looking for multiple tickets to go with friends, but if you just want to go by yourself and go with me, I have an extra ticket. I said, not creepy, I'm harmless.
Well.
You can check out. I said, Google. I don't mind the touch of a gentleman. I said, Google me, that's fine.
Google me.
So I sent the message.
1,000 articles will show up.
I sent the message, and then I went to her Facebook page to see if I could see some more photos. And I guess that was a picture of her mom from a wedding that she posted, because the next thing I see on her Facebook page is raising money for our prom.
Oh, no.
I said, well, I think I better
Asked
delete.
out a high school girl?
Better delete these messages real quick. I didn't mean anything by it. I was just going to ask, look like a 30-something lady, and was just, hey, if you need an extra ticket, I got an extra ticket. I don't want it to go to waste. If you want to go, you can go.
So you ask out a...
Well, I didn't know she was a teenager. She looked like a 30-year-old woman.
Did she ever respond to you?
Text inbox might be breaking right now.
Oh my God. No, because I deleted it.
You said the quiet part loud.
Oh.
I deleted it.
You sent the message and then checked it out.
Well, yeah, I just saw the picture, the profile picture.
Okay. Well,
I guess she had a picture of her mom up there with somebody else.
Maybe mom would like to have gone with you.
Well, after that, I said, by the way, does your mom want to go? No, I was looking for somebody to go. I wasn't trying to get a date or anything.
No, not at all.
A lot of people are requesting Chris Hansen drops.
Oh, God.
This 53-year-old is bringing candy.
Did you bring my M&Ms?
Didn't know how old she was. Just trying to help somebody out, looking for Pitbull tickets. And she wouldn't have had to pay for them either.
You think it could possibly have been an undercover detective trying
to let him be. I didn't do anything wrong.
Predators in.
On Facebook saying I'm in need of Pitbull tickets. I said, well,
He uses the screen name Twink Toilet.
I'm looking to get rid of one, so if you want to go.
Are you friends with her on Facebook?
Online, he calls himself a Latino Man 559.
I don't think so. I might have been on Facebook Marketplace. I don't remember.
Okay. I was going fishing. It sounds like what you were fishing for was sex with a 12-year-old girl.
Oh, well,
I probably shouldn't have told the story, even though it was harmless.
Cut.
I'll leave it at the 4.
I just imagined you going to maybe a club or something, have a nice dinner afterwards, late night.
The hot dog.
Drink.
No, I went all
Going on to barbecue, hot dogs.
fired up the grill. Thanks to Jamie Burkhardt. He had some Oscar Mayer wieners.
With the bun and everything, or just have the hot dog?
On bread. I didn't have any buns.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God almighty, Doug.
Put a little ketchup.
It's like Calvin Coolidge's back in office.
Hey, white bread?
Yeah, Lewis is half a loaf. I like the Lewis is half a loaf.
Nice, libraries.
They just sell half loaves of bread?
Man, dude.
Yeah. Because that just goes to waste.
Right, no, I hear you.
So I just get the half loaf.
When you eat 2 hot dogs at, 11:30 at night?
I had 4.
4 hot dogs.
Wow.
4 glazes.
Just kind of waddle back in bed and plop in there. I think life is good.
Pitbull just retweeted me, and I just ate 4 hot dogs with my neighbor. I saw an article pop up on AliveMagazine.com's Out and About section with the headline, quote, "From VIP at the Pitbull concert to boiling Vienna sausages in a discarded Folgers can over a fire barrel." In a Maryland Heights tent city common area, a look into the life of an HD2 secretary. Thanks, that's from Gunter.
What's up, Gunter?
And those were the cuts of the week.
Well, Doug, what a week it was. You got to feel good about the performance.
I don't feel that great.
And now we'll be rewarded handsomely with a weekend.
Well, I'm ready for the weekend to be here, but I don't feel that great about the week's work that we did. It seemed like a little, a little sloppy, a little vile at time.
Yeah. I'll see you guys Tuesday.
Oh.
Monday. Remember that.
Oh, wow.
What's happening Monday?
Megameyer Foundation Golf Tournament.
Nice. You're going to be doing some ball striking.
I am. I'm playing with Cletus. Cletus put a team in, so
Sweet.
Where are you playing?
Winghaven, right?
Winghaven.
Oh, so
I haven't
there
played
will
there in
be
a couple years.
swinging.
I love that course.
Go to Family Golf, get some work in before, man.
Nice. Plowhawk just set me up. Yeah, you should, Iggy. Although I think you guys are going to have a greens and regulation festival. If you don't, Family Golf's short game area is open, the best in town. It really is. I don't know who could compare. Country clubs can't compare to it. It's phenomenal. It's having a monster putting green anyway. Country clubs wouldn't set aside that kind of land. That's what you got, and you got all the different grasses you can hit off the bunkers. It's familygolfonline.com. And the driving range, phenomenal too. The quality of grass there, or if you just want to hit off the turf, you have a double-decker driving range. You have the par 3 course. The place is outstanding. It is fully lit, so you can play at night, practice at night, and that short game area is the best. You want to shave strokes? You're like, well, I'm a 21 handicap. I know I don't have the natural athletic ability that you do, Tim, but how can I get down to like a single-digit player? Spend your time on the short game area.
And check in the lessons, too. They have some great instructors out there.
There you go. Yeah. FamilyGolfOnline.com is where you can go to find out all about it. And while you're there, think about it. Plowhawk, what else should I tell the people about?
Stratum.
Yeah, you should tell them about
The weather's perfect, but, you're going to have some snow here. You're going to have some water damage here in the near future. Well, it's coming around the corner. There's snow more than there is.
Winter's coming.
Oh, it's
Winter's coming. Stratum Structural Systems, waterproofing and foundation repair. Think local, think Stratum. StratumRepair.com, 314-620-8153. Known for their integrity and authority with over 5 decades of combined structural experience in basement waterproofing and foundation repair. They're in Chesterfield, Missouri. They're in Columbia, Illinois. Let them know you're a TMA listener. You get $100 off your repair project. Stratum Structural Systems, waterproofing and foundation repair. They win awards all the time for the quality of their customer service, and I personally used them last month when we had an issue from all of the rain. I recommend them wholeheartedly. They are the absolute best. Matt Ford, Brett Groman, Stratum Structural System. Stratum Structural Systems. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Good morning, gentlemen. Is there any way Doug can start doing regular cameos on Pepper and Jeannie? Nothing was better than hearing Doug's stifled involuntary groans off mic yesterday while Iggy and Plowsy discussed non-traditional pets. The best part was when Doug finally felt compelled to go on mic to let the fellas know that a silverback gorilla would not be a good pet and that toucans cannot talk. This is the content we need. Love the shows. That's from Chimpy the Butt Plug Duster.
Chimpy the butt plug duster. He's new.
Hello, radio geniuses. Early in the first hour, Ne'er-do-well said you brainiacs were missing the top story, and the Earl of Tropicana lotion piped up with the death of an old British lady. But the ADD train didn't stop in London town. I was really expecting Strode to hijack with a little story like this. I never did get the Queen on Straight to the Web. I DM'd her. I had its Kathy tweeter. I asked Gaga's backup hair fluffer, but she never came on. Her loss. That reminds me. There was an adult actress in the early 2000s who looked exactly like Princess Diana. Obviously, I don't remember her name. It started with a letter, but she spoke American, not British. So she would get me to the edge, and I'd hear her moan in American, and it would ruin it. Now, if I had directed her, I would have said, kiddo, you have breastises that Diana would die for, but you need an accent. Let's call it as hard as a candle in the wind. I would have won an AVN. Also, the cockpit wasn't stormed. Brad in Boca.
Brad in Boca.
None of that was mentioned in the first hour.
Well, he claims it was. But he's down in Boca, so he may have.
There was a Princess Di takeoff movie.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of...
A taste of your own medicine. It's when my neighbor Butchie gives me a handy and has me sniff his fingers when he's finished.
Oh.
Dirty Bird? Doug, this is the filtered file? Is this the filtered file?
Well, Jackson has no filter.
That was the gist of it?
That's all it was.
Oh, that was a good one.
What was the text? What was the email again?
A taste of your own medicine. It's when my neighbor Butchie gives me a handy and has me sniff his fingers when he's finished. Dirty Bird.
World.
Well, it wouldn't really smell.
It wouldn't not smell.
Dirty Bird. With a poor. In fact, Dirty Bird's been suspended.
He's gone.
Dirty Bird is gone. He's been suspended a period of 2 days' time, and his name is going right into the leather-bound suspension log.
There's a guy in the text inbox. Matt the Plowhawk first comments on Drink.
Well, get ready. The season just started, baby.
Right. Let him have it, Plowsy.
God, I haven't even
Let him
got
have
started
it.
yet. Block me. I don't care.
Oh man, I'm telling you, this is going to be. It's no matter what, we can't go wrong tomorrow. I mean, I want them to win, and I'm like emotional. I've already set aside the 11 to 3 o'clock for the game. But if Missouri gets stomped, all hell's going to break loose. And if they win, now we're talking about taking down Alabama and Atlanta.
Right.
So it's going to be wonderful.
And if they win, they'll say, got a shot at this SEC crown. If they lose, this team sucks. Drinkowitz gone.
There's so many places I can troll, too. So many outlets.
Where are you going? Where's your Mount Rushmore of places? Now that Gabe's show is not on.
Definitely the TJ Momizu group. Definitely Tiger Board and 100% Twitter. And maybe the fan page. I mean, you're going to be busy.
I think the fan page recognizes it for what it is, but those other places I can't speak to.
Yeah, the Mizzou group is, oh, man. I get ready.
They diehards over there?
I have to put my phone on the charger. It just will continue to rack up notifications.
Final email for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. By the way, Gabe will join us at 10:15 on Balloon Party. For those of you with your questions for the Cardinals, 65780. Good morning. I lost my virginity to a vacuum last night. What? My wife and kids were volunteering at a homeless shelter, and I had the house to myself. I lit some candles and turned on some Sinatra, poured myself a glass of wine, and got my pincers into some coffee crumb cake. Idiot, I yelled at myself as I dropped a dollop on the floor, crumbs scattered about. I got out the vacuum and cleaned up my silly little mess. And then it hit me. The wand on this dirt devil was long and had what seemed to be the perfect circumference. I lubed it up real nice-like, pulled down my pant, and set my ego aside. Inch by inch, the wand slowly entered my hole. It was euphoric, but then my quivering leg hit the power button, engaging the suction. Within minutes, my mud painted the inside of the bagless bucket.
Where'd you have that thing?
HEPA filter my ass? Had to tie some cinder blocks to the son bitch and drop it in a Merrimack. Got home just in time to greet my loving family and help them inside the house. America. Thanks, that's Adam from Lehman.
Adam from Lehman.
He lucky he didn't have the discharge.
You got a vacuum from the 50s? With the detachments?
HEPA filter.
Jesus.
Doug, what decade had the best vacuums to let penetrate you?
Oh, boy, the last part. I don't know. I couldn't pinpoint a specific decade.
I think he said 50s.
Having virtually no experience in
the
that
halcyon
area.
days.
In the 60s.
The halcyon days.
The 60s, my mom had that when she'd do the
that's
couches.
awkward for everybody.
She took the utensil, she took the one attachment off and then did the couch, and
They
that's
still
what he's
have
got.
that. They still have that.
Oh, that's stupid.
Why is that stupid?
You don't need those. You can get the Roomba.
My
It does it on its own.
No, it don't. It doesn't. He's saying
Doug,
don't
you got
now.
dumbed down.
The Roomba just stays right on the ground. It won't get up and do the couch or the stairs
If you
or
put it on the
anything.
couch, it will.
It will not.
Just lay on your back and put the Roomba on your back and have it go up and down.
You have a Roomba? Those are expensive.
Yeah, we have one.
I don't. I mean, I got a 2,000 square foot. Or not even
That's
that.
pretty big.
2,000.
I say, damn.
200. I'm
Gina.
sorry, 200.
That's more like it.
Yeah, I'm not voting. They all sucked.
Wow.
Oh,
Plowsy, it's all you.
I'll go for Chippy the butt plug.
Chimpy. Chimpy. Chimpy.
I thought it was Chippy.
He's a guy with a great short game.
Oh.
Chimpy.
All right, Plowhawk, you get to vote for E.
I guess I'll do Chippy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
All right then.
Well, I thought Adam from Lehman was the obvious
Didn't he
one.
have the one? Didn't he have the one sentence?
No, you're thinking
No.
of Dirty Bird.
Yeah, they all just were terrible.
Chippy had me correcting you on Pepperoncini.
No.
Oh, you guys are doing emails now in Pepperoncini?
No.
Nah.
No, this guy emailed in about Doug talking more. But next time you have a, we have a sound story, you can come in.
There you go. You can be
All
a
right.
Pepperoncini.
Well, maybe sometimes I can linger around for a few moments.
There you go.
And just
Get a lot of
groan
phone
and
calls.
scream and yell.
Pepperoncini and Vaughn.
Yep.
Well, I don't know that we
And
need
Jackson,
to take it to that length.
Whenever we go late, Jackson can join us.
PNG getting the D.
Time for us to shut it down. Missouri K-State 25-hour countdown is underway.
Oh. Okay.
This is the one, Doug.
And what's your prediction on this?
The rain thing concerns me. I hate to say it. I'm a little worried. I don't know, but maybe they can stop the run. Maybe they can stop the run. I mean, I'm not going to take anybody but Missouri. But would I wager on it? Nah, I wouldn't.
Yeah. What station's it on?
ESPN2.
Okay.
Plowhawk will be all over your platforms, though. He will be very active. And Balloon Party is coming up on 101 ESPN. Gabe will join us at 10:15. For the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 HD2 FM, the Potted Plant, closing out the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour from our Michelob Ultra Studios.
You're hearing TMA all day on